Go. Get
the tokens off the board. Oh my god.
So you, how you what you want to do? How fast do you want to go? As a recap from last week, I haven't written up again, so my apologies. I've had a lot to write of what you guys are going to get up to now. If you even do this now. So, we started with Archidius and the gang planning a sort of spy mission with the son of the Duke of Cretchington, Warrane Cretchington. Olin, dressed as a noble, acts as her handmaiden. Caecilius as the court wizard. Edmund and Gragnar were the bodyguards. And the Duke was fairly tipsy, and soon enough his tongue started to sway. We learned rumours of Azalantique and the Sibyllic Order, whatever that is. We learned of auctions. We learned of a bunch of other stuff that I can't quite remember, so I hope you've all made notes. And we didn't actually, which I was surprised by, we didn't actually end up blackmailing, which was very good for everybody, good for you all. And you've all muted, so it's really weird that I'm in an audience. Once all that was done and you were satisfied with the information you had, Archidius thanked you for your service, was a bit disappointed at the information he found out because it didn't really lead anywhere, and said he was heading to Dirt to hunt down Ilhan Omar, who was the I believe it was the half-elf. Just to check that, just for my own sake.
Is he a wood elf, I think?
No, it wasn't. Where did I get Ilhan Omar from? Flether Eelhorn. Why did I just say that name? I've never... Anyway, Flether Eelhorn. 2,000 gold piece, half-elf said to be hidden. Yes, they said he was a wood elf. And he's going to Dirt to chase up that. When you woke in the morning after a long rest, you had a gift basket left by Django with some fancy magic items in, and a note saying that Merrin's men were in the city and to get out as soon as you could, really. Is that what I put? I can't remember where I put the thing, but yeah, essentially Merrin's men in the city, it's time to go. So, we're in the apartments, it's the morning, we have put away our magic items. What would we like to do?
Guess it's only me. I'm leading the party.
Yeah, everybody else is still muted. Why?
Oh, sorry. I forgot I was muted. I have been talking.
The lake that we're not supposed to be going to. We're going to that, aren't we?
Yeah. Does anyone want to do anything before we leave?
What time of day is it, roughly, Si? Sorry, you may have just said.
I'd say it's maybe 10 a.m.
Oh, it's morning. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll only be rubbish shops that are open.
Yeah, I think no time like the present to pack up things and go, but I'll take your lead.
Absolutely.
Right. Sounds good to me.
So I guess we need to go get the cart.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me
We're
just...
off to, it's Frest.
Oh, do we need to settle the bill at the Winking Cat?
We paid in advance, didn't we?
For one night, I think. I don't know. I can't remember.
I would
it was
say,
so long
I would
ago.
say, yeah, you guys have you've paid in advance for any. We don't need to go through the bureaucracy of going and paying the bill.
Being good tenants.
Or if you wanted,
but that's my favourite type of role playing.
You could even leave
bureaucracy.
Leave the money in the room.
Nick it.
Yeah,
no, we've paid
house servants will just pocket it all.
Yeah.
Okay.
As
Leave
I
some
remember
secrets. Then they can sell them on.
It's up to you guys. We can head back to the Winking Cat, or
I don't think we need to. Let's just get in the
No,
car,
it's
get
fine.
going.
Yeah,
let's get going.
Just leave.
okay. So we're leaving the apartments.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Pack up, head down to the familiar courtyard of the apartments, and yes, it's very quiet now. There's only a few people milling about this morning. very, very quiet in the city after all the chaos that's ensued the previous days. Everyone seems the people you do see seem a lot more relaxed, and nobody's walking in pairs anymore. There's just single people walking along.
You're welcome, Flamby.
One passerby kind of looks you up and down, thinking what you deserve, and then kind of just keeps walking.
See, they love us. We're celebrities.
As long
Yep.
fingers crossed the next place we go to, we don't have to pay for information at every sentence.
I hope
Mhm.
Let us leave this hellhole and never return.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. So where we're
I'd like
going?
to think, Edmund, you said that quite loudly.
Oh, we absolutely just said it out loud.
Mhm.
Right. To the cart and then the gate.
Okay. So as
Yeah,
you're
the Watcher's
walking,
Gate, wasn't it?
could somebody point out which path we're taking to the cart?
I assume we're going this way,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
up this big street,
Yeah.
all the way to the gate, and then across, because the stables are they're here, aren't they?
There is
Side.
Remember
right,
that
just to
correctly?
the
Other
right.
side. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Here, yeah. I would assume if everyone agrees, that's the way we're going.
Sounds good.
Yep, absolutely.
Oh, hang on though. Although the road to the lake, wouldn't that be the Eastwood Gate? Because the Watcher's
Oh.
Gate took you back to Coburn.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
You're getting
Where
your
we
cart
came in.
Oh,
first.
good point.
Yeah, we need to
Yeah.
go back
Yeah,
up
that's
and then
true.
We can
head back
just go
down.
round the city once we're outside of it. You know, just go this way.
Oh, yeah, it's probably easier going outside, right,
Yeah.
than through the
Let's
city.
go
But
push out to that where we tried to bring the cart through the town centre last time.
Yeah,
Okay, so I'd
that's
say
open countryside. What could go wrong?
as you're going north to get your cart, some of the rumour mongers are already out, shouting, "1 copper piece, finest rumours, silver, silver, proven true rumours, 2 silver, best rumours around." And
How
they're
can
still
a
going.
rumour be proven true?
I flicked a copper piece at one of them. I want to know what a copper piece of rumour is. Give us a rumour.
The guy says, "Apparently, there's a haunted head somewhere in the city."
Thanks.
Was that a haunted head or a
Yeah.
haunted hedge?
A haunted head, the head of some kind of necromancer has been seen roaming and floating along.
Did it have like a
That was-
high squeaky voice? Did it go, "Hello"?
I don't think so.
That was worth a copper piece. Thank you.
Mhm.
My
That
pleasure.
might have been when I was. Right.
And then he carries on. "Copper piece, finest rumours. This gentleman's just had one of the finest. Copper piece."
Yeah, I could just keep giving him all my gold until Sai just improvs to oblivion.
Just
that'd
like
be a
an
lot
hour
of
later.
rumours.
And down! By the coast!
No, it's like a game. He's only got one programmed rumour. You give him another one, you just get the same rumour again,
Yeah.
exactly the same way.
Yeah, word for word, exact same enunciation and everything. So
To the
we're heading-
cart.
Yep, we're heading
Yes.
north to the cart, and we get to the lock, which has been bent in such a way that only one person can open it.
Ooh.
Who
We
was
did that,
that
didn't
person?
we? But I can't remember. I
That was
can't
you,
remember doing
Greg,
it.
didn't you? Like,
Oh yeah.
Did I?
Who locked the gate?
It was Owen,
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
It was Olin, yeah.
I do
So,
not
Yeah.
remember
Oh,
this.
phew.
Olin, could you roll a dexterity check with your proficiency bonus, please?
Guidance.
In a guidance.
Is that just would that just count as a sleight of hand?
No,
Okay.
it would be dex with your proficiency bonus. And guidance.
Well,
which is a D4.
And
Oh, yeah.
guidance.
Plus that D4.
First D4
Why are
there,
they
ladies
so-
and gents.
Why are D4s so hard to pick up? Oh a 4, so that's a 16.
16. So yeah, so you reverse engineer how you bent. You get out your thieves' tools and you reverse engineer how you bent it in the first place. And the door swings open and your empty cart is now there.
What a relief.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been really awkward if I couldn't get back in.
Right, well, let's mount up and get going.
Yep, so the horses are munching on hay. You mount them up. Who's at the front?
I'll drive since I've got the proficiency to do so.
I jump in the back.
Yeah, I'll sit in the back.
I'll go up front with Edmund.
Cool. So Axe, your...
We can plan our revenge for, killing that guy.
Yes.
Very good. So you all get in. I'm guessing we're heading down the main way to the east gate.
Yep.
Yes.
Cool. So you get to the east gate and the guards say, "Halt! Which party is this?"
Carrot Corporation. Yeah.
A Carrot Corporation. They look through the notes. We don't have Carrot Corporation anywhere. We got just the name of anybody in the party so we can check.
Edmund.
Yeah. Edmund Geraldson, nice to meet you.
Edmund Geraldson party. Perfect. Let's see. Olin, it says you bought a weapon at the Winding Markets, is that correct?
That is correct, yes.
Wow,
Very
big
good.
brother.
I see there's a note here. Yeah. It goes to a hush voice. I believe you have something a bit more clandestine too.
Who, me?
The party kind of looks at all of you.
Oh, the party.
Yes, we're on an important mission. And Edmund
That's what they
puts
think,
his
yeah.
finger to his lips.
They put their
Oh,
fingers
nice,
to their lips as well. They kind of point to the notes and say, "Thank you very much. For our sake as well, where are you next heading?"
Do we have to tell them?
Say something
Make
in
an
a similar
insight check.
direction.
Olin.
East. We're heading east.
Okay. Oh, 5.
A 5. He's looking
Yep.
at you like, yeah, you probably do have to tell him.
Okay. Yeah, east.
East. Very good. Anywhere in particular?
Aquarius.
Aquarium. Very
Aquaria.
good.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for all your help in the city and safe travels to you all. Open the gate! And the east gate opens and you leave without issue.
We have escaped. We've escaped Flamby at last.
So here we
Oh,
find
smell that
ourselves.
air. Room of free and delicious.
Now, who would like to? How would we like to get to Frest?
I think
Looking at the map,
first of
there's only
all,
one.
yeah, I'll have to
obvious way.
cross this river.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
BT. By the way, I've learned how to make the thing ping this week, and then head up past this crossroads to
Uh-huh.
this crossroads. Maybe quick trip into the mountains,
Yep.
and then a fresh boom.
Good. Okay, so we start traveling east from Flamby. Could everyone please roll? Actually, who wants to roll a perception check for the daytime?
How far have we travelled first? I've got some questions.
How do you mean?
I would like to cast a new spell while we're going. It takes an hour to cast, so I thought if I'm in the back of the van,
Exciting.
An hour.
Like to
An
cast it.
hour wouldn't. So an hour would get you. Let's see. If this is a day, 12.
essentially, have we encountered anyone in the first hour? Because as soon as we've left the east gate, I'd like to start.
In the
ritual.
first hour, roll a perception check.
Just me or
Just
everyone.
you. Just you, because you decided to pipe up.
4.
A 4. Looking around, it's very much just farmland, small hamlets, little wooden shacks, lots of fields full of like various vegetables and crops, a few cattle and sheep grazing. Very similar to the north of Flamby, but this time it's just to the east.
Cool.
Wonderful. So,
settle in for a good day of travel then.
yep. So we're travelling along, and we have our travelling music in the background, which I played on Groovy. And then night comes. First of all, after a day's travel and night time, what are we eating?
I've got some bacon
Bread.
bread that I'll share with everyone.
Bacon bread, okay. What? How much?
Well, I've got 2 bacon breads. How far will that go round?
I'd say 2 bacon breads would be enough for everybody.
All right. Well, then
Three
you want to-
ordinary ones as well. So
Yeah,
Okay, so
yeah.
I'd say for now, Edmund, if you want to give 2 bacon breads, split it between
Yeah.
the party. Yep, you're more than welcome.
Absolutely.
To. That's enough. Yeah, that's
And
enough
now-
carbs and protein to get everyone going for the next day.
You will have noticed as well there is now a raven on my shoulder.
Yes, actually. So,
Would you?
yes, allow me. So as you leave the city
As you do.
and take
Yep.
in the sights and sounds, you hear it. Caw, caw, caw. The raven perches on the back of the cart and hops up towards Caecilius, onto his arm, and then perches just up along his shoulder and begins to nibble and do its wing.
So,
Straight ahead.
I noticed you've got a new friend there, Caecilius.
Yes.
Get it in the night market.
No, this will help us. A friend of mine.
What does
Is
it
it-
do? Like squawk and stuff.
Time will tell, but
Right.
he's powerful.
Does he have a name?
I haven't thought of that. Does he have a name?
Mr.
I need to-
Mr.
I need to-
Beaky.
I need to consult the DM very quickly. Hang on. Chatting, Simon.
Yep.
2
Mr.
seconds.
Beaky.
Mr. Beaky.
Speaks a lot.
Wait, what is this? What are you sending me?
Gregory Peck.
Hey!
Oh, okay, cool.
So yeah, Pete, if you want, you can give him a name right now if you want.
Yeah. I'm gonna call him. Let me think.
You don't have to decide right now.
I'm gonna think of the name and I'll get back to you.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Okay.
Doesn't have a
Okay.
name yet.
There's the side quest for the next for this current session. So night falls, the horses begin to look tired. The roads look pretty clear again, still farmland. Some. Where would we like to camp out? If we want to.
Anywhere, anything? Yeah, is there anything off the road? Like,
Make a perception
Mm.
check.
Yeah, we just need to pick a good spot.
16.
16. So looking around, there seems to be a large oak tree just to the left of the path, which is lovely big branches and leaves. So going under there, if it were to rain, although the weather did look quite mild, you'd be easily protected under there for the night.
Yeah, does it sound good? People
Sounds
happy with
good to
that?
me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So if need be, click a long rest for everybody,
Doo-doo.
and then morning comes quite unimpeded.
can I spend the
Go on.
first hour of that making a weapon bond?
Nice.
What the heck is that?
So part of Eldritch Night is you can bond to 2 weapons. Takes about an hour, and then basically I can summon them as a bonus action.
Ooh.
And I
Very
can't be
cool.
disarmed.
Oh yeah, so here we go. So weapon bond. It says 1 weapon here.
Oh, when you read on, it says you can bond to 2.
Hold on, because I only ever take in 1 sentence at a time, which has served me well in the past. For example, when Olin described an ability that she was right to use, but I argued with her until I finished the whole thing. once
I apologise. I'll let you finish reading it first.
Okay, very cool. Okay, right. Which you can have up to 2. So this would take you 2 hours, which might mean you don't get a full night's sleep.
I just bond to 1 at the minute.
Yeah? Which weapon would you like
Cool.
to bond to?
So I'm going to bond to one of the hand axes that I have in my bag.
Okay, so you, for those who are half asleep, you watch as Axe sits and concentrates on one of the modest-looking hand axes she has. Edmund and Concilius, you're particularly perturbed by this because you both have had actual contact with a seemingly magical weapon in the possession of Edmund, and now you're watching Axe kind of staring at a very, very plain-looking hand axe. And then after an hour or so passes, the axe disappears. And Axe, who has the axe, what would you like to do after it disappears?
I'm going to try and summon it. Because why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Axe,
You wouldn't just go, oh, there it goes, done.
Yeah.
you see Axe concentrate again, the familiar face that she pulled for the last hour, and with a sort of... the axe appears in her hand again.
Okay, at the same time as it appears in her hands, can I surreptitiously use prestidigitation to create like almost gentle sparks coming off, like a low-key
Yeah.
firework effect?
So this happens. Axe, you believe that your powers are probably a lot more advanced than you believe. Caecilius, you particularly are quite envious that this Axe, who can also create fire spells just like you with better accuracy, is now summoning weapons left, right, and centre. And you kind of look at your raven and think, and all you've done is peg.
Edmund, seeing the sparkles, goes ooh and politely applauds. Oh, that's very good.
Very good.
Oh yes.
I'm going to take like a little bow while I'm sat there. It's like, yeah.
Yes.
We're dead magic, us lot, aren't we? This is brilliant.
I think I visibly look very jealous.
Yeah. So, as I say, so morning comes unimpeded, and the second day begins. Now that we're 2 days out of Flamby, this is kind of like a layer of road where it's just sprawling fields. There's some ruins every few miles, but looks a lot more plain around here. Just give me a second.
Well, at least we'll be able to see. What's the scenery like? Is it super flat so we can see for a long way in every
Make
direction?
a perception check.
Oh, I can do them.
Have we
There we
crossed
go.
the bridge yet, Si? Or we still on the...
No, so I'd say
West of the bridge.
you're about here now.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Oh, I missed that. I was rolling a dice. 21.
21.
Oh,
so
lovely. Right, okay.
you can see a few things from where you are. It is quite flat. To the south, you can see what looks like it gets like rockier, and then you think you can see some signs of civilization that you assume to be
Right.
Mithrin.
Oh, right, okay.
So it goes flat and flat and flat, and then it seems to dip towards the area where Mithrin is. To
Oh, right, okay.
your
Yeah.
east, you can see like the dip of the valley where this river must be, and you can
Yeah.
see maybe a few carts that seem to be travelling to and fro. And then to the north, you can see that things have cleared up way near the mountains where you travelled a few days before. That fog, that
Oh, yeah.
darkness is completely gone. It's now blue skies and the odd white cloud.
You're welcome, Edmund says to the man.
Edmund plays, what's he called? Maui in this session. Popular Disney film Moana.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
So we travel on for another day. Night comes again. I'd say, yeah, once again, with the land so flat, it seems quite safe.
Right. Making camp then.
Yep. So making camp. Is anything anybody wants to do this night?
Edmund is still interested in his short sword. Obviously, that we've established that the rust is coming off with blood.
Yep.
So, what state is the blade in at the moment? Is it rust-free yet, or is it?
Make
still
an investigation check.
Investigation. 6.
6. It's still looking pretty rusty. Part of you imagines, even where Caecilius put his hand over, you might be being paranoid, but it looks like the rust might have even come back in some places.
Right, okay. As kind of part of the evening for Edmund tonight, he's going to train with this sword just to see if he can kind of get a feel for it. Because he's not used it in combat
okay.
yet.
In that case, make an athletics. Athletics check. I'd say.
Okay. That will be 16.
16. So I'll type this to you privately.
Okay.
How do I do it? There it is.
Do. Oh, that's sad.
I'm loving the furious typing.
Ooh.
In the meantime, I'm just going to use Mage Hand to conjure like a spectral floating hand to pet the raven from afar.
Okay, so
Nice.
you
have a name now as well.
I'll go on.
Ash.
Ash!
Very cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Ash. The
Like
Raven. So you see as the spectral hand appears, the raven looks terrified at first and goes to peck it, and then as it pets, it looks confused and then kind of leans into it, almost as if it's never had this kind of affection before.
Oh.
And yes, Stu, you'll have received all the details of the blade and what practicing has revealed to you.
The rest of you will see Edmund kind of look at it and to treat it with great reverence, and then kind of just place it back in his pack and get his old longsword out and strap that to his hip and be very glad that he didn't sell it to the man.
Ooh.
No.
I am the man.
It needs some work, this. Needs some work, this sword, friends. But one day, I reckon, this could be a nice little weapon.
Does it need more of Caecilius's blood? Because that can be ranged, I'm sure.
I think I need to take it to a proper, a wizard in the know with one of these things. I need an expert in magic weaponry. That's what I think I need. I'm sure we'll find one of them at some point, though.
Yeah. Sure.
I'm going to whisper to Ash.
10 a penny.
Well.
You're going to whisper to Ash?
Sorry, I'm whispering to Ash because he can fly. He's going to go ahead and scout. Have a look above. Is he quite far in the dark?
Okay, roll a perception check for Ash while I just go to the toilet with my headphones.
I don't know what is... Oh, I do have I've got a... Hang on, let me work this out. How the hell do you work out perception?
Is it a you seeing through his eyes kind of dealie, or is it...
No, he can communicate with me.
Oh, nice.
Right, I'm just going to roll D20, and I have no idea what modifiers would be on this. So perception is... Hang on. Wisdom. So his wisdom modifier will be... +1, same as me. Okay. 17.
17. Hold on. So, flying higher and with a better view of the land, since we're about here, Ash notices that down the crossroads this way, the flat land makes way for thick forest and bush, and using his keen raven eyes, he sees a few disturbed trees where flocks of birds start to come about, almost as if there might have been like a loud sound or action that might have startled a few of these trees for these birds to leap out of.
Okay. I'm guessing he's now come back and told me this.
Yes, so it comes back and caws in your ear.
Oh.
I relay that very information to the rest of the group, if we're all still awake.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Crossroads, disturbed trees, birds, something, maybe afoot.
And how far from are we nearly at the river now? Are we crossing it tomorrow?
Yes, I'd say you're about a day away from the river now.
Right. Well, I think we're making good progress then.
And for this night as well, what do we want to eat?
Right.
You can all have some of my bread. I'll share mine.
How much bread have you
Getting quite
got?
stale 3 days in.
I've got like 3 loaves of bread, I think.
3 loaves of bread, so I'd say, yeah, that'll be
Yeah.
just enough to share with the whole group.
Grand.
Thank you.
We go for the next day. So we wake up, unperturbed again, and about halfway through the day make our way to the river. And it seems you've caught up with a couple of carts that are crossing it themselves.
Is it a bridge or is it a ford?
It's a bridge, sorry. So yes, it's a large wooden bridge, enough for a cart to be on
Okay.
either side to allow for that traffic. And there are a few carts. Some you imagine are going to Flamby, similar to the ones you've seen before, big old cargo carts. Some are similar to your own, so flat carts carrying things like hay or smaller wares like fabrics and things like that. But yeah, crossing the bridge, there seems to be no trouble.
Hooray!
Things get dark, I'd say, just before you reach the outcropping of this forest that Ash had seen.
Right.
What are we going to
Well, I would
eat
say.
for this night?
I also have bread.
How much bread do
Hooray!
how much bread do you have, Axe?
3 bacon, 2 ordinary.
Ah, very good.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because you got the special offer, didn't you?
So
Yeah.
I'd say
Nice.
2 bacon. 2 bacon is enough for the whole party, as we've said. So feel free to split that.
Yum.
So once again, we have our bacon, our salty bacon, which gives our protein and
Nom nom nom.
electrolytes and our fibre and our carbohydrates. And we settle in for the night. Is there anything anybody wants to do tonight?
Can I make a second weapon bond?
Nice.
Yes, you may. What would you like to bond to this time?
Can I bond to the longbow that I've got in my pack
The
as well?
longbow. Yeah, of course. So once again, you watch as Axe concentrates this time on her longbow, and after an hour, it disappears from her hands. Axe, what would you like to do?
Ooh.
I mean, I feel I have to summon it again, just...
And then once
To
again,
complete-
that look of concentration comes, and the longbow appears once more.
And once again, I cast Prestidigitation
And
and
the
sparks
sparks
fly.
appear, and Axe is shocked that her powers have developed so much in just a few days. And she looks very pleased with
Edmund
herself.
clapping with delight against us. Now do both at once. Do both at once.
Okay, I'm gonna... Yeah,
That's a good
I'd
point,
do it.
actually.
I'd summon one after... I think I'd have to be one after another. So it won't quite be both at once, but...
But like a douche douche.
Yeah.
One in each hand.
I'd
Or-
say roll a performance check.
Ooh.
Oh no.
See how snazzily you did. Guidance.
I'd say she doesn't get guidance because Edmund.
I
you're
know.
You're expecting her to perform for you.
I'm older than 8, so that would be a 7.
So you watch as Axe summons both at the same time, and she tries to grab the longbow and the longsword, but what happens instead is she hits the longbow to one side, and then the hand axe she hits towards Edmund, and it just nearly hits him. So she summoned both, but she caught neither.
Oh, well, I'm
I'll
sure
work
you'll
on that
get
though.
it. Yeah, you'll get it. Don't worry.
I chuckle.
You're
And then
looking cooler now.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of the raven, can I try and pet the raven? Like, not with mage hand, but with actual hand.
I cast actual hand.
Roll an animal handling check.
Come on, don't fail me. This is the most important roll ever. 15.
15.
Oh, nice.
Let me see. Well, Caecilius, what do you think?
I think if he knew the mage hand was Olin's, then yeah, I think 15 would.
So as Olin approaches
Yes.
Ash, he looks apprehensive again and starts hopping along Caecilius' shoulder. But then something
Cute.
familiar about the hand, he instinctively goes towards it and nuzzles into it again. As Olin,
Get
you're
in.
able to softly pet the raven.
Yay! This is it. I've won now. I've peaked. I'm leaving the group now, everyone.
Farewell. Oh dear.
Let me just check something as well. I'm just reading through the spell you sent me through, Caecilius.
I have a character sheet for the Raven if you need that as well. It's
yeah,
attached to my.
Amazing.
Send that. I'm just
Awesome.
I'm just thinking about this bit, which I'll just send it to you now.
Oh,
So I have a question. Where's this raven been all this time? How come he suddenly just turned up now? Or
he's slightly
Yeah.
magical.
all right, okay.
Just
So-
slightly.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
What, you didn't know it was magical?
No, he's very magical. I can summon him.
That's cool.
Known in kind of magical circles as a familiar.
Oh.
Cool.
Be good. He'll help us out.
So, night comes. So Axe has managed to bond here. Axe has managed to bond to another weapon. Everybody's happy. We've eaten. We're falling asleep. Could everyone please roll perception checks for me?
So, 14.
Okay.
13.
Okay.
20, not natural.
20 not natural.
9.
9.
Hang on, does Ash have to roll a perception check? I might think that as well.
Yeah, you can do.
And Ash's would owe a 9. He's more interested in being petted.
Perfect. Let me just roll this. Ooh. Okay, I'd say. Yep, everybody. You hear. Please just send me a gift. Thank you, Pete. You hear odd growling in the night that stirs you all.
Whoa!
And in the darkness, you can see a shape. Who's got dark vision?
Me.
Hey.
Not me.
Okay, for all those with
Ash.
dark vision, you can see this creature with multiple limbs and sort of tentacles pouring out the back, but it looks like a large puma. And then you seem to need to rub your eyes. It's almost like there's two of them side by side, but overlapping with one another. And you can see it's circling and stalking you now. Sorry, I'm just.
Is it by any chance the picture of the thing in Roll20?
No, it's not that. I didn't took it by accident, and then I couldn't delete it, so it's still there. Yes, that's exactly what happened. Okay. Perfect. So, I will need everybody to roll initiative. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? I will take us all to the map that I set up for just in case, but I didn't want to put too much effort in case this didn't happen. And here it is!
That's beautiful, man. I am
Yeah.
immersed as fuck.
So, let me just find... Anything? I'm just going to try and put like... yeah, so if everybody rolls initiative as well, just while I do this.
10.
14 for Edmund.
Sorry, 14 for Edmund, so I'll just do this. Edmund, 14. Kisili's 10.
Yep.
Okay, Gragnar,
17.
17. Axe,
21.
21. And Olin.
23.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
23. I'm gonna just use this one. Puma. Don't hate me. Okay, that looks terrible. But it's all we can do.
Oh no, we're being attacked by a leaf.
Being attacked
Roadkill.
by a fat puma.
What?
Can I put this in?
Palmer.
No, I can't. Good.
That's just amazing.
Did I even put it on the right thing? I token there. I did.
How is that a puma?
I was zooming in to have a look.
It's supposed to be longer, but obviously it's been squashed down because of. Actually, it says. Oh, actually, no. Never mind.
Looks like a baby cow when you zoom in.
Hold on.
Some say
Okay,
calf
perfect.
wanders the forest feeding on
Sorry.
victim.
It should be this. Just make things better, but you know, shut up, everybody. Right, I've only got the 3 things on this. I could have got a token. I don't know where the tokens are. Oh, you know what? I'm just gonna find them now.
No, please
No,
don't.
it's fine.
This is much
That's
better.
amazing.
Tough. No, please, you've done it now. You've done it now. Right.
Ah, seeing it in the like high definition.
Stop it! Leave me alone. Leave the fat
It's got
puma
baby
alone.
cow ears sticking out at the front. Look, baby cow ear number 1. Baby cow ear number 2.
Everybody leave the fat puma alone. You won't be laughing in a second.
I see now. It's literally taken me all this time to figure out that that's a bird's eye view of it. I genuinely thought it was like a dead cow on the side.
Oh look.
Oh no!
We're not laughing
It is
anymore,
so
are we?
weird.
There we go.
Ah,
Okay.
Oh, that's
pretty
amazing.
Terrifying.
Looks like a Neopet.
I hope this
it does look like a Neopet.
Okay.
Is this its
Shut
ultimate
up!
form?
Neopets! No, it's not a Neopet. Oh, great! And it got a freaking 3 on its initiative as well. Okay,
Amazing.
so first up is Olin.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, can I move my counter?
Yes, of course you can. So, 5, 10, 15, 20, whatever. You're about 20 feet away from it. It looks like, yeah.
Yep.
I'm unable to move my counter.
mm,
you?
They're locked.
yeah.
What?
Oh yeah. Sorry, I was asking if you could. Yeah, let me.
Oh. I see what I've done. I think I.
Oh, I kind of missed the dead cow, guys.
Yeah, I know, right?
Okay, that should be it now. Can you guys move it yet?
Oh yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I put it,
Yeah, I'm just gonna stab it.
Put your tokens on the map layer, not the token. On me. So you.
Oh.
What?
Actually, you know what? I'll use a spell. I'll use my cantrip, Frostbite,
Okay.
just
Hold on.
because I can.
Is that an attack roll?
Yeah, I'm actually not. Can I not have moved?
No.
And then instead.
No.
Okay.
No.
All right, then I'll just stab it.
Okay.
Sorry, I got excited thinking, oh, I should use a new spell. Yeah, I'll just stab it with my.
You have chest once you move your piece.
Except I crit failed,
Oh,
Okay.
so I probably don't stab it.
No, you don't.
Pity.
And it looks pretty mad at you. But as you get closer to it, Olin, you can see there is one of it, but it's almost as if it's overlapping with itself. Almost like you've got double vision.
Okay, I'm just gonna shout that to the party. This thing's weird, and then I'm gonna disengage and leg it as a bonus action.
Okay,
I'm a
yeah,
rogue.
I imagine you can do that because you're a rogue. Yep, go for it. And then Axe, this is you next.
Hearing what Olin just shouted, it's within 60 feet, right?
It is.
Yeah.
Cool. Then I'm gonna try
Yes.
acid splash.
Okay.
'Cause
What do you need to do?
Can
for
hit
that?
2.
It can hit 2.
Yeah, if they're within 5 feet of each other, it can hit 2 targets.
Is that a spell?
Oh,
Is it?
cool.
So let's see.
It's a spell, yeah. A cantrip.
You hurl a bubble of acid. Yep. Choose 1 or 2.
And
Choose 2. They must be within 5 feet. Yep. It must succeed on a Dex saving throw or take. Okay. Right. What's the saving throw?
12.
12. And it has to succeed.
Mhm.
Let me just check. With saving throws, you add your Dex modifier, ladies and gentlemen. Imagine you do, don't you?
on a saving throw, you must be proficient in that stat to get your proficiency bonus on it. Usually, will
But
tell
you can.
you.
But can you
what
at least? Can you use the actual
modifiers
stat
are.
modifier rather than the proficiency modifier? It doesn't matter anyway.
Yeah, stat mod. All right, okay.
I got a 17.
and you succeed, so
So what happens?
nothing.
Nothing. So yes,
Yeah.
as this liquid spews forth from Axe's hand, the beast sort of shifts on its where it stood, and it just completely misses. So next, is there anything you want to do, Axe? Else?
Think so.
Nope.
Thank you.
Okay. Gragnar, you're next.
Okay. So, as my bonus action, I'm going to use Hunter's Mark on it.
Ooh, okay. Just try to find that. Yep. So blah, 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 you can see and mark. And it's just concentration. You don't even need to roll for it. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's just concentration.
Okay. Until the spell ends, you do an extra. Yeah. To target. Fine. Yeah. Yeah. Advantage on a. Yeah. Nice. Sounds good.
Cool. And then I will go 5, 10, 15, 20, and I will just swing at it.
Okay. So roll at disadvantage. As you get closer, you can see that you can't actually make out which one is the real one, as it sort of doubles and overlaps with itself.
Rude.
It's very rude, isn't it? So I got an 18 and a 23.
You gotta be kidding me. Okay, yeah, that hits, and you also do the extra damage from your spell as well. So roll for damage.
Awesome. So that is 8 plus 1d6. Right? So 10 total.
10. Very good. So yeah, you take a big run up and you manage to hit it and hits it square in the face. It looks really annoyed, but you've also seemed to have hold on. You also seem to have
Now you've really pissed it off.
hit it into one place, and you all notice that where it was doubling and shifting before, you can now see it is back to its normal state. It's just one creature.
Ah.
Ooh.
Okay.
Nice one, Gragnar. Nice one. You unblurried it.
Is there anything else you want to do, Gregor?
No, that's everything.
Okay, so Edmund, you're up next.
Okay, Edmund, first of all, says, Axe, you know that thing you can do with your weapon? I can do that too. And then he casts Spiritual Weapon, which is a level 2 spell. Or as a bonus action on my turn, I can summon a weapon, kind of a spiritual weapon into being within 60 feet of me. And when I do that, it automatically attacks a creature within 5 feet of it. So, is there any way you could create me a little token or drop me something in that I'm allowed to move about? I'm Kirith Mal. I like a sword if you've got something along those lines.
Level
A
3
spectral
changed everything.
sword just appears floating in the air. Nice. So within 60 feet of me. All right. Okay.
Okay, you should be able to control that yourself now.
Oh yeah, there we go. So I make it appear here. Let me just get that 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Yeah. And then as soon as it appears, it swings at the creature.
Wonderful. Do you have to
so
roll
just give
an attack for that?
yeah, it roll to hit. Yeah. So just give me 1 second. Spiritual weapon. Get +5 to this.
Wow.
That'll be a 14.
Ooh, yes, just hits.
Oh,
So
nice.
roll for
1d8
damage.
+3. That's going to be 6 damage.
6 damage.
And if it makes any, I believe it's radiant damage as well.
Radiant. Let me take a
If
look.
that makes any difference.
It does not, but it has annoyed this beast. So yeah, this magical weapon appears and slices with a shot of white light, and this beast growls and looks towards the source and seems to be annoyed because it can't identify it.
And then, because that was only my bonus action, Edmund will then run in and hit it with his sword.
Hold on, it says here, spiritual weapon. You create a floating spectral weapon within range, and then it says, as a bonus action, you can move the weapon up to 20 feet. Oh, I repeat the attack. That's if you want to repeat
turns.
Fine.
Yeah, that's subsequent turns, because this is my bonus action to cast it, and then I'm using my movement and then my action to hit.
it. Fine.
So let's see if I'll try to hit it anyway. Here we go. Boom. Come on, longsword. Don't fail me now.
Are you attacking with your longsword?
Failed me. 6. Yes, 6.
Didn't you give your longsword to Axe?
No.
No, I've had one all the time.
But you're attacking with your longsword?
Yes.
Okay,
my short sword is.
How much damage did you get?
I missed. I only got a 6.
6, fine, yeah. So you go up and, as it seems to be trying to dodge the spiritual weapon, it manages to dodge yours as well. It's a lot more agile than it seems to be. Okay, so next it is Caecilius.
Okay, I am going to move over here.
Blow its head up.
I go, enough of this. I'm going to cast Burning Hands in a 15 feet cone, so kind of that shape.
Let's see, 15 feet, 5, 10, 5, 10, 15. Yeah, that would just miss. That's fine.
Yep, cool. And that is it's going to hit anyway, but it's kind of if you success, you get half damage. So the dex save of. So
it's a dex save.
Yeah.
What's the
13.
13. That is a 19.
Okay, so half damage for whatever I just do.
Hold on.
Oh, this is a level 2 as well, so it's 46. So it's 12, so 6 damage.
As you cast your Burning Hands, it seems to almost see it coming, and it kind of does a weird flourish, and it looks unscathed. It's taken no damage from the Burning Hands.
Oh, wow.
Dun dun dun.
I look worried.
And now it is the creature's turn. And seeing you, Casillas, try and be a bit sneaky with it, it is going to move right in front of you and take 2 swipes.
Opportunity attacks.
Yeah, that's true. So I'd say, yep, so opportunity attack for Gragnar and Edmund.
15.
15 hits. Roll for damage.
I assume I get my extra damage on that as well.
With the spell, yes.
So I did 7 damage.
7 damage. So yeah, you managed to carve into its back. It yowls. 7, was it? And then Edmund.
I'm assuming an 11 doesn't hit.
But Edmund, Gragnar gets the hit in. The beast just moves out of the way before your attack gets to hit it, Edmund.
Okay.
But looking at you,
Blast.
Casillas, and even more angry now that Gragnar's carved up its back, it's going to make those swirling tentacles behind it, the 2 of them, hit you. So that is a 17 to hit first.
Yeah, that hits.
Yep. So you take, from this first hit, 8 points of bludgeoning damage.
Yep.
And then you take
Oh, stop! He's already dead.
3 points of piercing damage.
Yep.
And then its next attack with the second tentacle.
Oh, I don't know when this would hit. After the first attack, hang on, let me work with the. Is it an action? Yeah, no, I can do it after an attack. As a reaction to that first attack, I'm going to cast Hellish Rebuke.
Hellish Rebuke, what do you need to roll for that?
Dex save of 13 again.
Dex save of
Or half
13.
damage. Yep. That's when you.
So, Hellish Rebuke is flames, isn't it?
Oh, is it going to be immune to flames?
So, once
That's like
again,
my thing.
you see the flames gather around it, and the beast, again, does this weird movement and flourish, and a second time, it seems unaffected by the spell you cast.
Would have been 16 damage. Fine, whatever. Cool, fine.
Okay.
Bring it.
It's going for its second tentacle attack, which is an 18 to hit,
Yes, that hurts.
and that is 10 points of bludgeoning damage,
Oh, Casillas.
and then 2 points of
He's
piercing
got no
damage.
arms left.
I am hanging on by the skin of my teeth.
And then,
Wow!
as it confidently hits Casillas with these 2 blows, you watch it shift, and all of a sudden it's blurring again, and those 2 shapes
Oh,
of it
God's sake.
are moving side by side again. It is now Olin's turn.
Oh. Yeah, I'm
Damn
just
it.
gonna
Kill it, but
run
not
up
with
and,
fire.
and stab it.
Yeah, go for it. And you have to roll
I'll
with
probably-
disadvantage, because you can't make out which of its shapes is the real one.
Okay, well, it's unlikely to hit. Oh, do you know, my second roll was a nat 20, but my first one was
Oh.
only a 7, so yeah, so that's a 7.
So yeah, as you were pretty sure you hit it, but then it's a after image, and it fades, and you realise that you've hit thin air. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
Probably lug it again. Can I? No, actually, yeah, I'll just leg it, disengage and leg it.
Okay, back to where you went. Axe,
Yeah.
it's your turn.
Oh no! Oh yeah. Sorry, never mind.
Okay. Axe.
So, given all the damage it's just done, I'm going to cast Ray of Sickness.
Okay. Let's take a look at this. Yep. A ranged spell attack. Yeah, you can do that with disadvantage, as you can't make out which one's which.
Well, they were both 12s, so that would be +4, 16.
Ooh, yes, that hits. So look
Hooray!
Uh, uh, 9 damage.
9 damage.
It also must make a Constitution saving throw.
Yes. So
And on a fail, it's poisoned.
Yep. Ooh. So this green energy hits the creature, and once again it shifts into one being and looks visibly affected by the ray. Yes, it is now poisoned. Anything else you want to do, Axe?
I might, seeing as how Caecilius is pretty damaged, I'm going to action surge as well.
Yeah, go for it.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to move here,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to use. I assume I can do this anyway. Use my 1 witch bolt before I have to buy stuff.
Yes, you may use your first and final witch bolt.
So again, that was a 16 to hit, so it's going to hit.
Yes, that hits.
For a whole 1 damage.
Wow.
No.
So being the first time you just cast this spell, feeling confident after those 2 weapon summons, you feel like you're going to do a lot, but it's kind of more like a phew.
I do get an automatic hit if he's still within range, and I don't break concentration next round.
And it also says it ends if you use your action to do anything else. So, with that in mind, it is now Gragnar's turn.
Okay. Is it looking injured at all, or is he still going strong?
Make a perception check.
13.
13. It's looking pretty sturdy. With all the hits it's taken, it doesn't look like it's going to go down anytime soon.
Okay, cool. So as my bonus action, I'm gonna cast. Sorry, I can't find it. Channel Divinity, Vow of Enmity.
Ooh. What is this? Okay.
It's down with bonus action.
For how long? 10 minutes, did it say? Yep.
A minute.
1 minute, so that's 10 rounds.
Mhm.
10 rounds. Yeah, sounds good to me.
Okay, so then I'll move closer to it, and I will swing.
Yeah, with advantage, go for it.
Uh, 20.
Natural or
No.
Not natural, no.
not natural? Okay, yeah, that hits. Roll for damage.
Ah,
And don't forget,
natural.
I think you've got Hunter's Mark as well.
Yes. So it's 7 from the flail, 6 from the hunter's mark,
Wow.
and just for good measure, when I hit it, I will cast smite.
What? Somebody stop
Yeah,
this
fine,
man!
fine.
Fucking machine!
If I can find smite in my...
Yep, when you hit with melee, you can expend a spell slot. How many spell slots have you got left? Yeah, you've probably got enough. To deal... Wow, that's a lot. Fine, yeah, add it all together, let me know what it is.
Yes, what is it? To deal 2d8 of damage. I assume it's not an undead or a fiend.
It doesn't seem to be,
Otherwise,
no.
it's
Okay.
700, dear.
So total it is 24.
Wow. Wow.
So that's with the flail.
You
Nice.
guys watch Gragnar, and you think back to when he was like literally trying to hit his flail against that Goblin King and not doing very well. There's just flashes of light and confidence. This mighty whack as the metal of the flail embeds itself deep into the muscle of this creature, and then there's a flash of white light, and it howls in pain. Yeah, a very, very severe blow. Okay.
I point at Gragnar and go, Kirith Mal.
Very much
What
so.
a glorious god.
She is glorious!
Speaking of which, Edmund, it is your turn.
Edmund is going to run around thuswise and place his hands upon Caecilius and cast Cure Wounds,
Very good.
giving Caecilius 7 hit points back. And then I will use my bonus action to stab with my ghost sword.
Okay. Is that roll for attack? Or
Yes, it is. Yeah, hang on. I'm just there we go. That is going to be a 16 to hit,
16 hits, yes. Roll for damage.
and that will be 7 radiant
damage.
damage.
So we see the spiritual weapon slice into the creature. Blood now dripping from a few open wounds. It's not looking good.
Oh, sorry, it's force damage. Sorry, force damage, not radiant. If that makes any difference.
That's fine.
Sorry.
Not as far as you're aware.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else, Edmund?
No, that'll do for now. Thanks.
Perfect. So, Caecilius, it is your turn.
Cool. I think I'm just double checking if this is. Sorry, I'm still getting my head around level 3.
Okay.
Right, I'm going to attack it, but my familiar can attack, so Ash is going to attack him. It's not doing very well for my spells, so you know what? We'll attack him. And that can... It's in Beast. So it's a Beast, so it can... Okay, so I'm just reading the rules here. Melee weapon attack, +5 to hit. Okay, well I'll roll to hit first.
Okay.
This is
roll.
a sting. Ooh, not 2d20s, hang on. Roll. +5. 18?
18 hits, yeah.
Okay, so I'm just reading the thing you can do. That is 1d4 +3 piercing damage. It's 5 piercing damage
Okay.
with if you make a Constitution saving throw
Yep.
against a DC of 11.
Ooh, what's this called? Fire. Oh yeah, 13.
Okay, and then it's half of 3d6 poison damage.
Okay. Oh, poison damage.
That's 17. Damn, 665. So half of that, so 8.
So what was the attack
That was sting.
from Ash?
Yes.
So you watch as Ash pecks, and it actually bothers this beast more than you thought it would. And you see this green bile almost spurt from the beak, but the beast seems to shrug it
Ew.
off. It looks like the poison damage didn't do anything at all.
Ah.
Oh no.
Which means it's now time, if there's nothing else, Caecilius.
Oh god.
Oh no.
Bring it. Bring it.
Turning to Gragnar.
Oh, thank goodness for that.
After the mighty wipe he did. It's going to raise its tentacles above again and attack with the first tentacle. Ooh, which is a 12.
No, it's 18 armor class.
That's right. So it then tries to swing. So the first tentacle just bounces off Gragnar's mighty frame. The second roll is 18. Which I believe it does. If it's on the armor
Yes.
class, that hits, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yep, work. Okay, so we watch as the second tentacle furiously hits down Ragnar. The first hit is 6 bludgeoning damage, followed by 2 piercing damage.
Ouch.
And then it's going to just stare, gazing at you, Ragnar. You see this close to it now, its eyes seem to be glowing, and as you stare at it, all of a sudden the 2 pair of eyes becomes 4 eyes, and once again it is shifting in between itself. Which brings us to Olin.
Well, I'm gonna try and stab it, but I think I'm gonna have to use my bonus action to dash to it. I think it was.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just too far. Yeah, and then I will try and stab it. Hopefully
So make
this
a roll
time
with
it'll work.
disadvantage.
That's probably gonna be a 5.
5, so now
Yeah, 5.
5.
Yeah,
so it's
it's-
shifting in between itself. You can't quite make a connection. You miss. Is there anything else?
Well, that's it. No, that's it.
Axe, you're up next.
Yep. So I'm just going to use my automatic hit.
Oh, of course, yes. So roll that damage, baby.
Marginally better at a 4.
A 4. I mean, considering how much it could be. So yeah, this a bit bigger lightning bolt seems to come out of nowhere and strike this creature. And it
Are you
yowls in pain.
palpatining it?
Pretty much.
Are you... Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And is there anything else you want to do, Axe? So retain that concentration.
Nope. That's
Okay.
it. Thank you.
So next it is Gragnar, staring the beast down.
Okay. So because I've got my channel divinity, it's just a straight roll, right?
Yes. So with advantage, you counter the disadvantage. Yeah, of course, it's a straight roll for you.
Cool. Okay. Cool. I'll just foil it. 12.
12. So it's still shifting, and even though you feel confident you can hit it, you just miss as it goes through thin air. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
No, I think that's everything.
Okay, so next it is Edmund.
Okay. Caecilius, how bleeding are you at the moment?
On a scale of
Hey.
kind of
Hey!
what?
Make an investigation check, Edmund, because you're so close. And now
An investigation check. Oh, I'll investigate you.
I was just going to do a very vague thing about, on a scale between like 0 and 24.
I'm a trained medic. I should have advantage on this roll. It should be medicine in
Okay,
my
make a
opinion.
medicine
It should
check
be a
then.
medicine. Yes, 5 instead of +1. 24. I
So
know
you-
all of Caecilius's inner workings.
Yeah, so you reckon he's just under half his health.
Bit more than just under half.
He's about,
Alright.
he's about a third of his health.
Alright. Edmund kind of goes, oh, wasn't quite enough. Give the touch of the good stuff.
Mhm.
You will get, enjoy them, 5 hit points
Oh.
back. Enjoy those.
Thank you.
Be grateful for them. And then only 5. I wanted more. And then I will use my bonus action to try and stab it. Now, is this going to be with disadvantage, even with the spiritual weapon? I assume it will be because it's blurred.
Yes, if spiritual weapon doesn't have advantage, then yes, it's a disadvantage.
Okay. Got an 18, but the other one was a 1, so 6.
No, yeah, the spiritual weapon just hits thin air.
Blast. Blast and drat, Edmund
That's all
shouts.
for you, Edmund?
That's all for me, yeah.
So, okay, Celius, you're next.
I'm just going to go with a standard Eldritch Blast.
Yeah, go for it. Roll it.
Old faithful. Okay.
Then might I suggest you get out of the way.
I'm too arrogant for that. 11.
11, no, so it's still shifting and the green bolt just flies straight over it, hitting a nearby tree instead.
Okay. Oof. As a bonus action, can I try and move?
Yeah?
This is not probably work in my favour, because I can imagine he will get an attack against me potentially.
Yep, so that'll be an attack of opportunity,
Yeah.
which will be...
I'm going to move more but I'm going to go over, like, here, if I can.
Ooh,
Still
that's
gonna
a
hit me.
26 to hit.
So
my-
that does hit.
Kirith Mao!
So that will be... Ooh, 5 points of bludgeoning damage.
Yep,
That's alright, I just gave you them. You're fine.
And 1 point
And-
of piercing damage.
that's fine. I'm still
The
here.
tentacle just shoots into your back, whack, and then a pierce. And now it is the creature's turn. And this time it is going to strike both Gragnar first and then Axe. So Axe is going to go for you first. And that is an 11 to hit. Misses. Now it's going to go for Gragnar. 23 to hit.
Yes, definitely.
So that for Gragnar, that is 8 points of bludgeoning damage as whack the tentacle hits against your chest, plus 5 points of piercing damage as it jabs you right in between the chainmail and pierces your stomach.
Ooh.
And it now seems it's still shifting constantly. So Olin, it is now your turn.
Well, I'm going to try a different tactic, and I'm going to try and use prestidigitation to create a distraction behind it.
Okay.
Basically, like a load of flashing lights, to maybe try and draw its eyes.
Okay. Do you want to point what range does prestidigitation have?
It has 10 feet.
10
So
feet?
maybe just like
Where's it going to be?
yeah,
then?
there.
There. So just behind it. Okay. I'm going to roll an
Yeah, just behind
an intelligence check to see if it can figure out what's going
Yeah,
on.
okay.
It doesn't have a lot of
Yep, that
intelligence.
makes sense.
So we'll wait and see. That was a natural 1. Plus the intelligence modifier brings it to a -1.
Nice.
Fail.
So
the
I'm hoping
creature
that maybe
turns to see what these flashing lights are all about, startling it.
so hopefully that'll help everyone else's rolls.
Yeah, it will definitely help Gragnar and Axe.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna disengage as a bonus action and leg it.
Yep, very good, very nice, really clever.
The old bait and switch.
Okay, so next it is Axe's turn. And you will have, you'll be a straight roll if you attack from where you are.
Cool. Well, I was going to say, while it's turned round, I'm just going to whack it with my longsword. So I guess straight roll then.
Yeah, go for
Uh,
it.
12.
12. Oh no! So even with a distracted, you can't make out which is the real one, and you just miss. Anything else you want to do, Axe?
I don't think there is anything else I can do, but thank you.
Okay. Ragnar, it is your turn.
Okay. So do I have advantage again though?
No, it'll be a straight roll again because it's still
Is it just a straight roll
shifting.
still?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna swing.
Go for it.
21.
21. Yeah, that hits. Roll for damage. Don't forget to add all your many dice.
So that is 11, but I'm gonna smite it again.
What? Hold
Just
on.
because it is.
How many?
I've got one more spell slot, this is my last.
Let me double check that. It's not that I don't
My
doubt
last
you.
spell
I
slot.
just doubt you. Yes, you're right. So you
Wait a
casted
minute.
Hunter's Mark. You cast Smite before. Yeah, this is your last one. Yeah, go for it.
I've lost it in my. There it is. Sorry. 2d8. So total that is 20.
20. So you all watch as Ragnar once again winds up his flail, and it seems to glow a bright white light and just hits down to the back of this beast, and it yelps something horrendous and seems to howl, and then from behind you just watch its mighty form to the ground, not breathing.
Hooray!
Yay!
Nice one, Ragnar.
You
I cast
watch-
Eldritch Blast on its dead corpse.
roll for damage.
Just the damage. I suppose it's not moving, is it?
Yeah. So you watch as soon as it drops, it shifted back into its
10.
one form. 10. A gaping green and red hole now appears on the side of it that smells of burning flesh.
That was mainly for my own ego after missing all the other attacks. So
Yep.
there's more about
Okay.
Caecilius than anything else. Yeah.
So the beast is taken care of.
Yay!
And you know-
Huzzah.
So, what would we like to do?
Edmund will point to his ghost sword and say, "Until we meet again, good friend." And then it kind of shoots off into the sky and vanishes in a spectacular fashion.
Yep. So
Genuinely shoot off into the sky.
no, I don't think it can do.
It just blinks out of existence. But in Edmund's head, that's what happened.
That's what I'm imagining.
Yeah. Yeah.
Back to the goddess with you. Whoosh.
So it is still nighttime. So leave me alone. It is a puma. You can see the tail and its ears. The tail is at the bottom. The ears are at the top. Next week's session, unfortunately, everyone, Ariel's character died on the way back to her home. And Ariel is blocked from the Discord server.
My goodness.
So yeah, it's now still nighttime, middle of the night. Is everyone want to
So
do?
we've still got time for a long rest.
I think
Yes.
we're going to want to be a bit more vigilant, aren't we? Just to
Yeah.
Yeah.
make sure that doesn't happen again.
Yep. So
Yeah.
Did what we could.
Doubling the guard.
okay, so whoever wants to stay up for the rest of the night, just roll a perception check for me.
Okay, I'm not. I need to sleep. So night, everybody.
Yeah, I can. I'll
I'm
stay
old.
watch.
I definitely
I'm
need to
pretty.
rest.
I'm pretty
I've not-
rough.
So old.
Yeah, I've not been here at all, so I'll use any spell slots. So I'll.
Okay, Olin, if you roll a
Keep
perception
watch.
check for me, please.
Yep, 18.
18. You keep,
2 pumas attack.
you keep your eyes and ears open for anything strange. Nothing dangerous seems to happen, but you swear at one point you hear the very faint sound of a whisper and a giggle.
I'm just gonna quietly wake up a couple of people. Actually, just everyone.
Yep.
Just be like, guys.
Yep.
Yeah, that just happened.
Where did you hear it come from?
Where did I hear it
Which
come from?
direction?
So you heard it coming from where the forest seems to start to get thicker in the distance.
Okay, I'm going to send Ash to do some recon. And I'm going to warg, for want of a better word, so I can see through his eyes.
Yeah, okay, so roll a perception check as Ash.
Luckily, has the same perception modifier as myself. Crit fail. So, there you go.
Nice.
Everything is fine.
Much too dark, and the foliage is much too thick to make notice of anything.
I've got nothing more to offer on that one.
Edmund goes, well, that didn't go very well. Wake me up if anything happens, and just turns around and goes back to sleep.
Okay. Olin, make one more perception check.
Okie doke. 20, not natural.
20. So you keep your eyes and ears open again, more alert than before. And apart from a few animals chittering about on the forest floor, nothing happens again.
Okay.
So click off as a long rest while I just nip to loot.
Just
You
what?
just what?
Well, I just leave? He's gone! He
Yeah, I
left
think
us!
he's, yeah.
He left us! Checking glasses of water.
I think that was the most damage I've ever taken in a fight.
Well,
Pretty heavy hitting.
It was, yeah.
mhm.
I mean, just you two though. I think the rest of
Yeah.
us were fine.
Yeah, that's true.
Ed didn't take a single hit.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah.
Having a lovely time.
I was
Now
down
I
to 1 HP before you healed me, Edmund. 1.
Oh, really? Awesome. They're in the nick of time. Excellent.
Sorry, I said
That'll be a gold
I
piece.
said I was nipping to the loot. The good thing about having Bluetooth headphones is I can hear everything even while I'm weird.
Was it you could hear us
What?
talking about you? Oh no!
So we wake up. We're about here now. So we're at the crossroads where there's a sign. The one pointing south says to Darton and Mithrin. The one to the north says to Frest and Aquarium. To the west it says to Flamby and Sol Citra. So where would we like to go?
To Frest.
Oh, to Frest we
Is
go.
there any, like, usually crossroads would have some kind of form of, like, settlement or anything? Is it just quite deserted at the crossroads?
Make a perception check.
And also, on another note, is it super cold where we're going?
Make a you
13.
make a history check, Stu. 13.
History check.
Yep.
It seems this crossroads is odd. It's in a very thick forested area. The roads themselves have no trees, so you can see sky and it's well lit. But yeah, it looks pretty deserted from what you can see.
Unusual.
And
I suppose
Yeah.
we're heading into...
a history check for me, Stu.
Cold.
I did you the history check, and I'm guessing that Edmund's thinking, oh, I'll be fine in a t-shirt, because I got a 6.
A 6. Yeah, from what you call Frest, yeah, you would call it being cold. You're not sure how cold. You've never actually been there yourself.
Right.
There would be no reason to. You just know it to be cold,
Oh, okay.
not how cold it would be.
Well, it's a good thing I've got my ring of warmth, anyway. This will protect me.
So as we start travelling into thicker and thicker forest. You start to notice north of the crossroads here, the trees seem to be brighter, and there's more flowers around, wildflowers of all different colours. The grass almost looks greener here, and you can see to the left and the right there's deer, skunk, squirrels and boars roaming peacefully, nuzzling in between the plants and vegetation. Who's on top of the cart? At the front?
I think I'm driving.
Could you roll a perception
Yeah,
check?
and Olin will be there as well.
Edmund and
Perception
Olin,
check, I
please
can
roll
do
perception
that.
checks.
18.
18,
21.
21.
Oh, nice.
You both see something that catches your eye in between some of the trees. With a ray of sunshine basking over it, you can see a chest.
So we can see a chest that is essentially being illuminated by a ray of sunlight.
That's what it looks like.
Doesn't sound suspicious.
Look at that! That looks special,
I-
doesn't it? Edmund says.
Can I roll insight on that? Check if it's real? If it's...
I don't know
a
if
trap?
insight works that way.
yeah.
Insight's mainly for, you discern the true
Yeah,
intentions
it's
of
for a
the creature,
creature,
such as
yeah.
when searching out a lie. Yeah, there you go.
Well then, yeah, that looks really cool.
Well, I think we should go and let's go open that.
Okay, so you
Let's tell the guys.
you stop the cart and tell
Yeah.
the gang about
Yeah.
this chest.
Awesome.
Can I do an Arcana check, please?
Yeah, we roll for Arcana.
Ah, yes. Useful.
15.
Go, magic man, go.
15. It's the object itself looks convincing, but part of you wonders why it would be in the middle of the forest basking in sunlight. You think you've come across
Seems a bit
something
too
that
good
looks
to be
like
true.
it seems like if there was something magical about it, it would be something of a very simple magic nature.
I'm thinking it's a trap.
Wait. I have an idea. Can I use my wonderful spell, Mage Hand, to open it?
Oh,
Yes,
yes.
of course.
Yeah, so we can all be 30 feet away, and I can still use Mage Hand.
Excellent.
So you watch
I see.
as this ethereal hand appears 30 feet away and grabs the lid of the chest. But instead, it just goes right through it.
Oh,
Ooh.
it's a ghost chest.
Can I pick up a rock or anything near me and throw it at it and see if it goes through as well?
Yeah, I'd say roll for an attack.
I am. You know, I did my character
Actually, no,
sheet. so-
roll an athletics check, I'd say.
Yeah, that's going to be bad. I am.
Get Ash to land on it. See what happens.
That'll be a 4.
A 4.
Missing
Oh.
completely, I'm guessing.
You completely miss it, but you hit a squirrel that goes.
It can't be that bad, surely.
Yeah, can I just
Just
go
prepare yourself.
closer?
Yeah, of course, Ragnar.
Oh god.
Like 10 feet away?
Yeah, so you're 10 feet away.
Is it still the same?
Make a perception check.
Ragnar, are you still alive?
12.
12. As far as you can see, it looks like a brand new
Holy
chest. Wood with a metal like grating on it. Yeah, it looks like a typical sturdy wooden chest. It's brand new.
Before I go any closer, can I cast Divine Sense?
Yes. Just find it. Actions. Divine Sense. You can detect good and evil, so celestial, fiend, undead. That is not trying to cover. So casting this, you concentrate. It doesn't seem to be anything of celestial or undead nature in the vicinity.
Okay. I'm just going to go over and try and kick it.
But one thing you do notice, Ragnar, is a fiendish presence near Caecilius.
Oh.
Oh.
Interesting.
Seems to be perched on his shoulder.
Oh. Okay.
Stab him.
But anywhere else, there's nothing. There's nothing that seems to be of a undead, fiendish, or celestial nature anywhere else in the vicinity.
Oh wait, hang on. Was that the raven?
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, okay. It just clicked. It just clicked.
That's what I think. I mean, unless anyone has any other ideas, I'm just gonna kick the chest.
Hang on, I've got an idea.
Go on.
Okay.
Edmund walks up to you and just goes, just in case anything goes wrong, I believe in you, guidance. So you can do a D4 on your next ability check if you need to, like a saving throw.
So you're going to kick the chest.
And then Edmund retreats to a safe distance.
Yeah, I'm just gonna try and kick it. Obviously, I know the mage hand went through it, but
So you're 10 feet away now. Are you getting closer?
yeah.
Wait. Can I try and pull him back? Because I 100% think that getting close to the thing is a bad idea.
Hey, Ray, he's got guidance.
Before I kick it, I want to get my shield out just to, in case anything happens.
Yeah, Edmund is also hunkered down behind his shield, just like peeping over the top.
So you watch as Ragnar goes, shield at the ready, to kick. Roll an athletics check for me. See how well you can kick.
Remember, you've got that D4 should you want it.
Yeah.
I got 16, which is probably fine.
So you aim right at where the lock for the chest is, and kick, and your foot goes straight through, and the chest vanishes.
Oh, you destroyed it.
Is that all that happens?
Roll a
Oh god.
roll a
Roller,
wisdom
keeping
saving
your leg.
throw for me, please, Ragnar.
I should be good at that. 19.
Oh,
Yes.
you feel very funny all of a sudden, but the moment soon
Ooh.
passes. Yeah, the oddest sensation just came over you.
Okay. It's okay, guys. I feel fine. I don't know where the chest's gone, but
Famous last words, I feel fine, Gragnar. I'm not convinced he's fine.
I'm too wise for their tricks.
Well, this was a huge waste of time. Right, back to the cart. Come on.
Edmund, roll a wisdom saving throw for me, please.
Ooh, I should be good at these too. Wisdom. Take that, 13.
13. Another strange feeling comes over you, and you feel like your body twitch. Then the feeling goes away again.
Oh, thank goodness. Well, that was different.
Have we unleashed like hell on earth?
I don't know. I felt all twitchy for a second, but now I feel fine. So I assume everything's fine. Back to the cart, come on.
Caecilius Olin axe Roll wisdom saving throws for me, please.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
no. Not very good at those.
6.
4.
5.
Casilius,
Yes.
what did you get?
6.
6. Edwin and Gragnar, confident that you've come on back to the cart, you've overcome whatever trial has just happened. You watch as your friends begin to have that same feeling you did, and they begin to twitch, and they begin to writhe, and their bodies start to shrink and
Oh,
contort.
bloody hell.
And you watch as your friends begin to sprout fur and begin to sprout
Oh my.
pointed ears and a long tail, and where your friends once stood, there is now a black, a ginger, and a tabby cat.
Well, that's weird.
I think we made a mistake, Edmund.
Well. Well, the cat's now. Well, that's different. Right. Right, well, come on, cats, back to the cart. It's kind of sad, like,
Can we just gather them up and their belongings?
Yep. So, if, guys, if you want to check your,
Oh, great.
you
Is that our
find,
character sheet?
you can find your character sheet of what you will have as a cat.
What has happened to Ash in this? Is he still fine?
Simon's just
Ash.
turned
Is he a
everyone into
cat?
cats.
Ash is very, very confused, but seems to be keeping next to you, the black cat.
Cool.
And you all have keen smell, which gives you advantage on wisdom checks that rely on smell.
Can't do anything else, but we can spell.
Right. Well, let's try. Let's see if this works. I will place my hand on one of the cats if they'll let me, and then I will cast Lesser Restoration.
Who are you trying to pick up?
Let's see. Hold on. Where's lesser restoration?
Let's have a look.
You touch a creature that can either end one disease or condition afflicting it. Condition being blinded, deaf,
Oh,
and
actually,
paralyzed, or
blind, deaf,
poisoned.
and paralyzed.
Hold
they're
on,
not any of
hold
those
on,
things,
hold
are
on. It would not be a TPK.
You're all cats now. You live in the forest.
That's it.
Well, I thought it'd be like a jolly, like 1d10 force damage as the chest explodes, but no, eternal cat curse. Brutal.
Okay, I'd say you know what. Yeah, choose one. Which cat would you like to choose, Stuart? I'd say
I'll
for
go
this sake, I'll
for-
let you do it.
Okay, I didn't know who was who, so let's say the ginger cat.
The ginger cat.
That's
Okay.
it. Yeah.
So you watch as Axe slowly comes back to her normal form.
Right.
You did it, Edmund.
Oh, that's good. Now I can only do this one more time today because I'm feeling a bit worn out. And then I'll go for what have I got left? A black
and a tabby.
and a tabby. Oh, who's who?
That's
I
it.
literally, it's potluck. Don't tell me. I'm going to go for the tabby.
The tabby. So you cast
Okay.
lesser restoration on the second.
Yeah.
And this time, Olind comes back to her regular half-elf form, leaving Caecilius
Right.
the black cat.
Don't worry, Caecilius. I just need a good night's sleep, and we'll get you fixed.
So what do we want to
Any
do?
response from the cat?
Meow.
Now, does Caecilius understand all this, or
Yes,
is literally
he'll understand the languages he knew in as a human.
all right? But Edmund does that British person on holiday speaking to someone who's foreign thing and speaks very loudly and very slowly to the cat. Well, I've had a good sleep, and the magic's back. I'll fix you.
Okay.
Until then, enjoy yourself.
So what are we doing?
Can I roll to pet?
Oh,
Yes, make an animal handling check.
Yes.
can I hiss in response?
17.
17. You roll a d20, Pete.
to avoid being petted.
17.
17.
Oh.
There's a standoff. And rather than the cat doesn't hiss, and only doesn't get any closer, they
Wait.
stand,
Can I?
hand outstretched, cat.
But what about Mage Hand? Can I summon my Mage Hand to pet from
pincer
behind?
movement.
Yes.
Pincer
Flank him.
Yes. So the Mage Hand appears and begins to pet the rump of the black Caecilius cat. As that happens, Ash the Raven starts hopping towards the hand, hoping it can get in on the action.
Yeah, for sure.
But unfortunately,
Can I pet him with my real hand?
Yes, you can.
Yeah. The Mage Hand is busy,
Mage,
but yeah, I'll.
Mage Hand
using-
only lasts with a minute. Actually, no, a minute. Yes, it'll be enough time to pet. So what are we doing?
Feels
Yeah.
violated.
Right, back to the card.
So we get back on the card. Who's going where?
I'll curl up in the back.
So Caecilius the black cat
And I'll try and
jumps up,
continue pet in the back.
and Ash stands loyally next to him, while Olin now pets the cat. I imagine Axe and Edmund up front.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
driving. I just kind of assume I'm driving unless anyone else wants to drive. if
So
you know what I mean.
Ragnar gets in as
Mhm.
well.
Well,
Ooh, there we go. So we get ready and start on the road again. And before you even start the car, Edmund, you now see that there's something in the middle of the road.
I now see what, sorry.
Make a perception check.
Alright, okay, so you cut out, I didn't hear.
No, sorry.
Uh,
Just for dramatic effect.
perception. 16.
16. It looks like... almost looks like a hamper of food.
Oh, everybody, look at that lovely hamper of food.
There's no way that's trapped, right?
No, I can't. Not one after another.
No, that's. No one's that stupid.
Yeah.
Do you know that thing that cats do when their spine goes up and all the hair on the back of
Yeah.
them? Yeah, I do that.
Okay, so...
Don't worry, Cat Celius. You can have some of the lovely hamper too.
There might be some milk.
What if? Hang on, though. Seriously, what if Cat Celius touching the hamper reverses the spell? Boom, we get Caecilius back.
He can't be double catted, right?
Yeah, so it must uncat him. Go on, Cat Celius. Off
I
you
see
go. Go touch
nothing
him.
wrow with this logic.
Yeah,
To be
that's
honest,
how magic works.
I'm willing to give that a go, so I'd pop off the car.
Okay, so the cat Celius jumps off the cart as everyone watches as he strolls over to the hamper of food. What would you like to do?
Can I, just before this happens, can I ask, does Cat Celius still have a cloak?
No,
I hope so.
the cloak seems to have disappeared.
Ah,
Am I going to be naked when I'm like... No, no one else was. That's fine.
There you go. So, you're going towards the hamper of food. What would you like to do?
Nuzzle it?
You want to nuzzle the food.
Yeah, like a cat would. Kind of put
Okay.
his nose in,
So,
sniff.
I say, Josh, you've got keen smell. So, make a
Yeah.
perception check with advantage.
What is my perception?
It
It's
will
cat
be
perception.
plus
Wisdom.
1.
Cool, same as that one. 18.
18. So you get close and use your little pink cat nose to sniff. And the food that's in front of you is
Yep.
real food.
I tuck in.
You watch as Cat Celius begins to start gnawing on what seems to be a slice of meat among this hamper.
well, looks like it's a real hamper then.
Yeah, it's definitely real food. Is it not poisoned? Or
We'll find
No,
out.
it has got cat all over it now, though.
You watch as Catselius finishes off the slice of ham, and nothing seems to happen. As cats do.
Well, off we go. Come on, Catselius. I still don't trust it. I'm not picking it up.
Okay. So you're leaving it through where it is?
I'm filling up. I'm going to have more food.
Okay, Catselius starts gnawing on another piece of food. What's the rest of the gang doing?
What is it? A hamper?
Adorable.
A hamper of food appears. Catselius has gone up, sniffed it, determined it was real food, eaten a slice of ham, and is now eating another piece of food.
And he's not had any ill effects. Well, sure, I'll tuck in.
You're going up to the food on the floor and you'll start eating.
It's in a hamper, right?
Yeah, it's a large hamper.
So it's not just like. Okay, I'll get my mage hand to bring something to me.
Okay, so you cast your mage hand. You manage to get what seems to be a good small piece of bread, like a crusty piece of bread, and you bring it to you.
Yep, I'll chomp it.
Yep, it tastes like freshly made bread. Really, really nice.
Okay, then I'll tell the gang.
Oh, nice. And Edmund will wander over and pick up some.
Okay, so you go over and you pick up the hamper. Yeah, it's when you make a perception check for me.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Come on, Edmund, perceive. 9.
9.
Oh.
You look in, and you can't see exactly all the food there. It looks like various meats and breads, and maybe a bit of cheese, but it looks like enough food for the whole party for at least 3 days' travel.
Oh well, 3 days
Jeez,
travel.
get in.
3 days
That's
travel's
handy.
worth it, yeah. Right, pick it up. Back to the cart we go.
Okay.
Come on, Catselius, get out of the basket. Get out of the basket.
I jump on Edmund's shoulders.
Okay, so what are we doing now?
Back to the cart, I suppose, and on we go.
Back to the cart.
With
Okay,
no ill effects.
back onto the cart, and we start carrying on through the thick forest. About an hour later, you turn and watch as Catselius slowly morphs back into real Catselius, cloak and all. Ash flies up and perches on his shoulder. Catselius is back to normal.
Sorry, in my head, Catselius was still on my shoulder when that started. And I ended up with him,
That could happen,
with
yeah. So you
Catselius
watch
just bent over, double over on one of my shoulders, and then,
As
and then a
Gragnar-
raven on top of him.
as Ragnar rides the front of the cart. You watch as the cat grows and grows and tips the balance as Edmund falls with Caecilius with him to the ground next to the cart.
Oh, you're back then.
Yeah, that was weird.
Your fur was very soft.
Yeah, you were adorable.
Yeah.
Looking visibly embarrassed.
I
I tuck the cloak closer to me and go, let's not speak of that.
So are we getting back on the cart?
That's it.
Okay.
Aye, yes.
So we get back in the cart, past midday now, as darkness surrounds. Still in the thick forests where the grass is greener, the trees are thicker, the flowers and animals seem to roam in abundance. And darkness comes. What we would like to do?
Make camp.
Make camp. So we camp. It's very easy to camp up here in the thick foliage, and as I say, it seems to be that it's just full of friendly animals as far as you're aware. Is there anything anybody else
Can we not go-
liked?
Can we not go too far off the road when we come? I don't like the forest.
You can stay
Ooh.
on the road. Yeah, that'd be fine.
Oh, we lost you.
We did. What happened?
Oh, there we go. Sorry, I lost you guys.
So yeah, Gragnar suggests keeping the cart on the road and somehow maybe setting up camp.
Or just off the road a little bit, but not too
So yeah, not
deep
too
into the
deep
forest.
into the forest.
Oh, yeah, I completely agree. I don't think we want to go too far into this horrible.
Okay. Does anybody want to keep watch, or are we happy with just?
Oh no, I think Edmund will volunteer to keep first watch.
Okay.
So
if everybody takes.
Yeah, I don't mind keeping watch as well.
So we'll have Gragnar and Edmund stay up.
Yep.
And if you both roll perception checks for me.
With pleasure. Oh! 23. That'll be a nat 20. I perceive all.
Ooh.
14.
14. Gragnar, you don't notice anything, but then Edmund, you do. You hear what seems to be the soft, faint giggling somewhere deep in the trees. And when you look to see the source, even in the darkness, you seem to think you can see what looks like sparkling dust, brief sparkle of dust, seems to glint even in the nightlight.
Edmund watches the dust, but watches it in the kind of the same way as you watch, say, shooting stars going over. He's not going to get any closer to it. He'll enjoy the sparkly show, and he will just serve his watch out guarding the camp.
Okay, so that perception, what did you roll, a 23?
Yeah, 23, yeah.
As you watch where that dust was, all of a sudden you hear very, very soft, faint whispering. It seems to be coming from closer than where you heard the giggling and saw the dust.
Okay, Edmund will wake everyone up and say, something's getting closer to the camp. There's sparkly dust, I heard giggling, and there's whispering. Something's not right, so just be ready.
Have you been drinking, Edmund?
No, I've not been drinking. There's a forest in it. Look, and Edmund points over to where the sparkling was.
Don't see any sparkling.
Yeah, make a perception check, Caecilius.
I'm very doubtful of sparkly dust in the forest. Perception. 3.
3. Yeah,
3.
you can't. You're looking where he's pointing. It's just darkness.
Yeah. Like, are you sure you saw something?
I definitely saw something.
You just need to rest, Edmund.
Look, this forest's already turned him into a cat.
Fair point.
But what? Sparkly dust at night? That's beyond reason.
Well, also, Olin heard giggling last night as well.
What, you
that's
were
true.
giggling last night? Oh,
Yeah.
I turned up.
Yep, that's right.
Do you think we're being followed?
My sparkly giggle dust.
Is there anything in those history books you've got, Olin?
Roll a history check with advantage, Olin, since you had Marquisia in her lands.
Okay. First roll was a 6. Second roll was a 13.
13. You think you recall hearing something about forest being where the elves used to roam and the half-elves back in the days where they inhabited Marquisia. But that seems to be a very generic statement. Forest and half-elves and elves seem to go hand in hand.
Okay, well, I'll pass it on.
Have we heard it again while we've been looking?
Make a perception check.
Okay. Sorry. That will be a 14.
Strain your ears. No, it's just silence.
Do we know how far through this forest we are? Could we see how far it extended when we were on the flats?
You believe you've got maybe like another half day's travel through it?
Another what? Sorry, you cut out. Sorry.
Another half day's travel through it.
Oh, right, okay. I was just thinking maybe it was like if we had a few more nights, it would get closer tomorrow night.
I'm gonna get Ash close to me,
Mm-hmm.
and I whisper in its ear. And as an action, he is gonna turn into a rat.
Rat.
Ew.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, Ash! What's happened to you?
And then I'm gonna
Your
send
glorious beak.
I'm gonna send him into the forest
Yeah, go for it.
to scout. 'Cause I don't think a raven would be able to look through the tree cover. So, right.
Yeah.
So I'll warg again. It doesn't actually have a name what I'm doing, but I can just see through his eyes. And I'm gonna have a scout out in the woods, but
Hold
through
on.
the undergrowth.
Yep. Action to polymorph. Yep. And it's okay. Statistics are the same in each form.
Yep.
And I see here dark vision. Yeah. Okay. Sure. Make a perception check.
Say crit fail.
Oh,
It's like my first crit fail.
no.
See?
guidance! Guidance! A 5!
Being so low down, it looks like Ash can't quite make out anything that's high up in the trees. All it can see is a few of the other animals on the forest floor. A couple of badgers seem to be rolling around late at night.
Cool. I'll head back to the camp.
Okay.
There's a rat.
So you watch as the rat went into the forest, you notice that Caecilius seemed to go into this trance. He stood still, his eyes rolled into the back of his head, and his mouth became agape.
Nice.
And
As Caecilius comes back to consciousness, Edmund says, "You were totally seeing through its eyes."
Yep. Told you. He'll help us.
Ooh. Cool. So magic.
You can do more.
to do.
Shall we investigate, or should we just go back to sleep?
What time of night / early morning is it now? Do we think?
It's 2 o'clock in the morning.
It's too early to probably start travelling again. I'm gonna stay up for the rest of the watch with anyone else.
Is it worth some of us pretending to sleep to see if we can draw it out? Whatever it is?
Good idea.
It's good.
Mm-hmm.
Who would like to pretend to be asleep?
I think for that to work, Gragnar, I think we'd all have to pretend.
Everyone.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
I think even if there was
Yeah.
one person on watch, I'd quite happily
Everybody,
pretend to be asleep.
everybody
Same.
make performance checks then.
Edmund is just not going to pretend, he's just going to actually go to sleep because he's done his watch.
Okay,
As far as he's concerned.
Edmund can click a long rest. Everybody wants to pretend to be asleep. Do a performance
I'm an
check.
old man, what can I say?
6.
6,
Nat 20.
nat 20,
Got 3.
3,
I got 12.
12. You all try to pretend to be asleep, eyes closed, lying still. Ragnar pretending becomes too much for you, and you fall into a deep sleep. Caecilius, the same with you. Axe, you think you get the hint of a voice, and then sleep comes for you too. Olin, you can hear two things happening, two voices. One seems to be very light and feminine and quiet, and is speaking, let me check your, yeah, she's speaking in a language you don't understand. And it's talking to a voice which is just as small, but more masculine, and seems to be speaking in Elvish. And you understand the words. And the words in Elvish seem to be, you've had your fun, you've given them their reward, now stop getting yourself into trouble.
Okay. Can I reply in Elvish and say, who are you? We're here in peace, just passing through.
You hear the feminine voice yelp and giggle, and it seems the giggle seems to fade away. And then in Elvish you hear, shit, I told you, and then that voice seems to fade away as well.
Like, could I follow the voice?
Yeah, make a perception check. What's Mirkwood?
The Hobbit.
Oops, sorry.
Only, only a 4.
Only a 4. You can't
Yeah.
determine which direction the voices went.
Okay.
And it's much too dark. Even with your elf eyes, all you can see is the grey
Yeah,
outline
yeah.
of trees and animals. Sorry, Christine.
Yeah, okay.
Anything else?
Alright, well... no, but I'll stay up. I'll stay up and...
So you
and
stay up. So if you're staying up, if you're willing to sacrifice a long rest, I'll allow you to do one more perception check.
You'll allow what?
I'll allow one more perception check if you're willing to sacrifice a long rest.
Oh, yeah.
And one more perception check.
15.
15. You hear the feminine giggling again, and this time you see sparkling dust about 40 feet away in the trees.
Okay, I'll gently wake up Axe,
Okay.
and just whisper to her in Elvish. They spoke in Elvish, and then kind of point the direction of the sparkling, and then I'll kind of walk that direction.
Okay. Axe, what would you like to do?
Also, well, I'll try and see if I can see it, and then I'll follow her.
Cool, roll a perception check.
Perception. 22.
22. You look,
Nice.
you stare, and you can see now, the badgers that Ash saw before now nuzzling for what looks like insects. But even when you strain and even being aware of all the sounds of the animals and everything else, you can't see anything or hear anything.
Oh.
Oh, do you still want to follow where you thought you saw it?
Yeah, for sure.
And Dax, are you following?
Yeah.
Okay. Head into the bush, deeper and deeper. And as you go deeper and deeper, that same small male voice you heard Olin speaks up loud enough for both of you to hear. And yes, it is in Elvish. And the voice says, "Be warned, you two. To get lost here is to be lost for an eternity. Step back. We mean you no harm. but this place could.
Okay, well, Olin will like stop and just say, "Can we learn from each other?"
There's silence.
Okay, well, Olin will say, "Thank you for the warning. We wish you well," and then Olin will, I guess, step back and try and go back to the camp.
You hear, just as you stand to walk away, that same voice a bit further away now. It seems to say, "Safe travels, children of Eel."
Cool. Does that mean anything to us?
So Eel, you know, is the Elvish word for elves.
Oh, yeah.
But for someone to refer to you as that, make an intelligence check.
Okay. Oh, a nat 20.
And that 20. So for people to say children of Eel, you've only ever heard it spoken by very elderly members of your society, your town. And you know that it's often referred to by people who have a respect or a mutual understanding of elves and half-elves.
Okay.
So whoever said this is one who must have at least some past relationship with the children of Eel, enough to respect them, enough to refer to them in that term.
Hey. Right. Useful, thank you.
It's okay. So heading back to camp. Axe, you get a long rest. Olin, you don't, but you do get to get some sleep, so you won't suffer any exhaustion the day after. And as we wake, the sun is shining. The trees don't seem as bright as they were. Flowers, not as many colours. The grass didn't seem as green as it was the day before. But other than that, the weather looks fine. It's a good day to travel.
Right. I suppose on we go then.
Yeah. So we carry on, and about half a day's through. Let me just check. Ooh, boy.
Just as we've travelled, Edmund has said, "Did we see any more sparkling? Was I right? Did I see sparkling?"
Yeah, we saw some sparkling, and then I'll pass on what happened.
Oh.
I didn't know if you were going to tell us or not.
Yeah, no.
So, what you reckon? What elvish ghost whatnot?
That's a good question. Who knows?
Right. Haunted forest.
Do
you think we're safe passing through?
I think so. I think we are now. I think any danger there was is gone.
As soon as you say that,
danger.
Oh no!
you hear boom.
I take that back.
Hold on. I'm actually going to get a good token before we start anything this time round.
Oh no! No! Use the bad ones. They're fun and free.
Rather than deal with your
Oh, they're so flat.
mean.
What I was referring to, Si, by the way, was if you've not read The Hobbit, there's a whole chapter in The Hobbit. They're in a place called Mirkwood, where they're literally the dwarves going through the forest, and there's like elves laughing and giggling in the trees.
I mean, it's every single fantasy trope that there's been. It seems to delve from the Lord of the Rings anyway. Because I'm lazy, we're going to be on this exact same.
I very much liked that during.
Go on,
during that bit at night in the forest, the Witcher 3 nighttime music was playing as well. That was really nice.
Yes, it worked very well. Just how I intended. Everybody move their tokens to the middle of the road, please.
Middle of the board. Oh,
Yeah,
I don't have a
as-
sword anymore.
As you'd all be halfway through the cart.
I've just read as well, Si, so I'm still getting my head around having a familiar.
That's okay.
They actually have their own initiative roll.
Yes,
they don't come
they
under
do.
mine.
Yes, I just saw that as well.
Yeah, so you might need a token. He's back as a little raven, by the way. That would have happened after he came back to the camp.
Yep, that's fine. Let me
Cool.
find Raven.
Cool.
Well, that's cool. That's much nicer. That.
Lovely.
Yep, there we go. So next to Cassilius. I'll just put settings.
Oh, look at that! Wicked.
Controlled by Peter. As for me, let's see how much you all laugh now. Where is it?
Uh-oh.
It's going to be an et-in or something, isn't it?
Dragon.
Got smite. I've got smite ready.
Ooh, an ogre or something. Oh, an etting.
Let me check how big this guy is.
It's got to be big.
Oh,
It's
good.
He's teeny weeny.
No, it's not. You see this hideous looking, but not too humanoid-ish creature come along. But it doesn't seem to be doing anything. It just goes,
What?
"Oh, hungry!"
Can I try and charm it?
In what way?
So I have a spell. It's very exciting. Called Charm Person.
Yeah.
And it's if it's humanoid-ish, it might work.
Nice.
I'd say it does. Yes, this seems to be humanoid-ish.
Okay. So I just need to be within 30 feet. So that's there. Is that right?
30 feet. You'd have to. So what? You'd have to be moving closer to it.
To be what?
So where were you before?
Just behind. I was just there.
You were back. I'd say you were at the back of the cart. To move closer to it, to move 30 feet, you'd have to get off the cart and go near to it.
Oh, I can. I mean, sure. I have the bonus action of
Just remember,
dash.
We're not in combat.
I mean,
we're not. I'm not.
that's true. That's true.
I'm not set to roll for initiative. All you've known is this thing has come across and
Yeah.
just said hungry.
Okay, well then, in that case, can I try and stealthily approach it if we're not, in combat or anything?
Yeah.
Did
Okay.
we
Yeah.
steal
Roll a
it?
stealth check.
Okay.
It's basket of fruit.
16.
Yeah, I was going to say we could offer it the food.
16. Hold on.
Uh-huh.
Ooh, no.
Lots of trees. Lots of trees.
Yeah, lots of trees doesn't count whether it can. Hold on.
Oh.
Ooh, actually. Ooh, because perception is wisdom, isn't it? You rolled a 16 on perception. So I'd say, yeah, you managed to move in such a way with your new cloak that you can get 30 feet. I'd say you'd have to be maybe a bit to the right of the road.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be fine. The creature's looking at you all now saying, "Hungry food! Oh,
I've got some food for you, Shane.
ew!"
Okay, so
And it sees you.
if I can,
and just shouts, "Eel! Meal of eel! Meal of eel!" And so, Ola, what do you want to do?
can I attempt to charm it? So that means it needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
Ooh. That is an 8.
Solid 8.
Do I need to roll? What do I need to do? I don't know what.
If it was it a wisdom saving throw?
Yeah.
The save
What was the DC?
Which
I think it's 11, Ariel. Just.
Thank you. 11.
Let's take a look. Charm person. Yeah, it says wisdom 11. Yep. So yeah, it got a 9.
Oh yeah, I see. Sorry, I never really play spell
that's
casting.
So it rolls a 9.
Okay, so it'll see me as a friendly acquaintance now.
Yep. Until the spell ends, so it lasts for an hour. Creature regards you as a friendly acquaintance and spell ends. Creature knows it's charmed by you. Okay. So it turns to you and goes, oh, meal of ale, but nice ale. Hello.
What? We haven't got any eels. We don't even live anywhere near the. We're not anywhere near the sea.
Think
No,
it's
human.
to eat the
No,
elf.
eel. I could eat eel. You got eel or eel?
We have
What?
some. Wait, fruit? Fruit? Is that what we have in the basket?
Fruit no good. Fruit icky.
No, fruit,
I feel the same.
young man, you eat your fruit. It's good for you. It's got vitamins in it, and it's sweet and it's delicious.
Oh.
Don't be so picky.
Make a persuasion check.
No. 1.
1.
Oh!
Leave no want fruit. Meat, eel. Who had eel? Fish or eel?
Does anybody have any bacon bread left?
I have 1 bacon bread left.
Okay, okay.
So, yeah, I'll take that out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hang on. Let's not be hasty, right? That's good bacon bread.
Yeah.
We could just stab it.
Whoa,
Was it
no!
serious eating meat from the hamper, though? Is there any left?
There was some ham.
So
Did you eat it all as a cat?
I won't be moving the token, but I just rolled for perception. He seems to have smelled the food and is now walking up towards the cart. Oh,
What
meat,
about
bread.
the next wagon that comes along, and they don't have a magic basket full of meat? He's going to eat them.
I'm slightly worried about the horses.
That's
Give
a
him the
good thing.
basket. Just. We've got other
Take
food,
out
right?
the fruit.
Alright, no fruit.
Half ogre.
Isn't it surely better to just give him bacon bread and see what he says? I can offer it to him, and if he,
You're fine. Yeah, alright.
There we go.
Okay. I'll offer him. I'll point out Axe's bacon bread and say, "Would you like some bread filled with bacon, friend?"
Yes, please, nice eel. Thank you. And he just scoffs it on like he just drops it into his mouth and eats. Very good. Thank you, kind eel.
No problem. Can we get past now?
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, me in way. Go ahead.
Thanks, buddy.
Buddy, we buddies. Yes.
Yes, we are.
Oi,
Where we go?
Brian,
Is he coming with us?
yeah, you coming with us, are you?
Me friend of eel. Me help and follow eel.
Alright.
Okay.
I'm just gonna say to the group, I'm gonna whisper to them. This only lasts for an hour. He won't be friendly after that, probably.
Okay.
I whisper to Edmund, Gragnar, and Axe in the cart. Does anyone have any ability to incapacitate him?
Wait, I do.
Do you?
I do. I could make him sleep. Why didn't I do that? I was just so excited by my new spells.
The thing is,
Brilliant.
have you thought of that on your own though? Because you're outside.
No,
the
I
cart
definitely
and-
haven't.
Right, well, I mean, hang on, let me just check how command works, because I could literally just tell him to fuck off, and then he will. Only lasts for a round, though. No, he'll only fuck off for 6 seconds, so that won't work at all. No, right, okay. No, I've got nothing. I could stab him, but
Yeah, I can.
well, let's take him along
Blame.
for an hour, and then when the spell wears off, we'll see what happens, shall we?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that what we're doing?
Sure.
Though, to be fair, it doesn't have to be an hour. You could choose when to turn it off, can't you? Is it concentration, or is he just charmed now? Well, I wouldn't know this. Sorry, I'm metagaming. Apologies. Well, he's friendly. Let's bring him along.
Yeah, there's certain things that can end it, but only will know what it is. So you carry on, and now have this giant ogreish thing following you, saying,
No, you're too big to get in the car. You have to walk down by the side of it. Come on.
"Oh, ill, tell man, can I
don't have any
be caught?
eels.
Ill, tell man."
No, stop saying eel.
I think he's trying to say elf.
Is he?
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Well, it doesn't sound anything like elf.
Maybe you can't see his F's.
Yeah, don't make fun of his speech impediment.
Oh,
What's wrong
you're
with
absolutely right.
speech?
You put it now.
And yet he can say that perfectly.
Do you like food?
Food. Yes, you have.
He gets it.
No, we already gave you some food.
Why
Good
talk
Lord.
food if no food?
We saw some food over there.
Where?
Just inside that mincing machine, just over there.
Where
It was,
Are you going to point to where this food might be?
yeah, there?
Oh, okay. I'll go find food. Wait here, friend.
Yeah, wait, just so you know, it's quite far in that direction, so you might have to walk for a while before you find it.
He looks at you
Oh.
like blankly for a few seconds, like staring straight at you.
Uh-huh.
How far, Eel?
Probably a good 10 minutes walk.
Oh,
Maybe
that's
about an
really
hour.
far. Me best set off now. Wait here,
Yeah.
friends.
Yeah, we'll start walking this way. I'm sure you'll catch up to us. But we're going back this way. You know, that way. So we'll go that direction, okay?
So what are you saying to him?
So I'm saying he needs
So
to
the
go.
food was
he
over
needs-
here.
Yeah, food over there, and then that we'll be going back that way.
So you'll be going back on yourself.
Yeah.
Are you just going to stay there? Are you going away?
So I'm just telling him that we'll wait down there.
Okay, me find the food and then me come back to friend. Good. See you soon, friend.
Bye, friend.
And you hear him stomp
Guys,
off.
let's leg it.
Stomp off. Stomp off. Stomp off.
Cheese it.
And
Go.
Get the tokens off the board. Oh my god. Made
so
it.
you how you want to do? How fast do you want to go?
Fast as the
Edmund
horse
will-
Fast.
carriers.
Yeah.
Fast as a
He's
horse.
going for at least 10. We've got 20 minutes head start, and we're on a horse. Well, a horse and
Okay.
cart. I
All
can
in,
drive at a responsible speed, but
all in. Make a perception check.
Oh gosh. Okay,
Ian, not
16.
Ian.
16. You hightail out of it, and as you come out, you've left the forest itself, and have now gone onto what looks like craggy hills and cliffs, a bit like when you go to like the Yorkshire moors. You have like hills and then rock faces that come out as well. And then from behind you, you see birds from way back flutter out of a tree, and you can hear a faint
Oh god.
No food!
Oh,
Ew!
We can
Picking
go
on a
back to
disabled person. It's awful.
Poor guy.
So we continue traveling. Fortunately, we didn't give all the food away because that's going to keep you going for the next few days. As you get to the crossroads here, all of a sudden, with the forest far behind you, a light snow begins to drift out of the clouds and onto the path. Not enough to completely cover it, but there are sort of splotches of white here and there. As you trot along near the crossroads, 2 carts pass by, filled with what can only be described as quite large gentlemen.
As in muscular, or
Make a perception check.
okay. Uh, 9.
9. Definitely muscular.
Right. Okay.
And they
They
seem
are swole.
they pass by. As you're heading north, they are heading south. And they give you the half elf and halfling who are driving the cart give you a look of acknowledgement.
Yeah, give him a loose salute and a kind of greetings. Anything we should know about as we're heading this way?
They all look at each other and say, well, you probably don't want to be going that way. You're not heading. You're heading for the capital. You're heading for the expanse.
We're heading for Frest.
They kind of look at each other and go, well, you know there's a bunch of warnings about there at the moment, right?
A bunch of what, sorry?
Bunch of warnings.
Oh yeah, no, we've been told not to go, but we've got some business there. It's unavoidable.
Well, fair enough. Good luck.
Why should we be? What's going on up there that we should be avoiding it?
Well, weather apparently, that's what we've heard.
The
So,
weather, is it what, this cold snap?
not much a snap as a great big crack from what we've heard. But uninhabitable.
So it's not. Is it normally this cold where we're going?
At this point, the half-elf chirps up and says, "No, never this cold round here. Very odd. Only a recent thing, apparently, according to the authorities.
Ugh.
Well, we don't come around these parts much anyway."
Right, where are you guys going?
You all of a sudden, a half-orc who was set in the back speaks up and says, "Heading down to Recton. Gonna go to the fight pits, aren't we, boys?" And they all cheer and they start flexing their muscles.
Oh, right. Well, maybe we'll see you in the arena sometime in the future. Good luck, lads.
Good luck to you, friend. There's 5,000 gold on offer. We'd love to see you there.
Oh, well, I think we could do some praying to the goddess there, couldn't we, Gragnar?
Yes. Oh, we will see you soon.
You now see there are 2 half-orcs in the back of the second cart, Gragnar, and they both start nodding in acknowledgement to you and like flexing their muscles in your direction.
I'll give him a flex back.
They start. What?
I imagine the back of their cart is like, is it Venice Beach in Los Angeles where all the guys do the working out?
Yeah.
Just got like pull-up equipment in the back of the car. Oh!
They're just using anything they can as weights. One of the half-orcs says to you, Gragnar, "What's your name, brother?"
Gragnar Steelfist.
They both look wild-eyed and say, "Whoa! Steel fist! Steel fist! Steel fist! Steel fist!" And that's all you hear as the cart slowly makes its way south into the distance, still pumping your name to the air.
Excellent.
Edmund says, "Hang on, that reminds me. You're a nobleman. I've just remembered that he's Orc noble, isn't he?
Yeah.
I've just remembered.
Of sorts.
Your Honour." Edmund shows you a badge.
I guess we're noble in the eyes of half orcs.
I was
Riding with swanky company.
Laura's just texted me saying I'm too loud, so unfortunately, no other NPCs will hype up Ragnar from now on.
I think it was Eel Man. That's who it was. Over
Could have
the
been
limit.
actually, yeah. So, as we get further in, the snow starts to flow a bit heavier, and night falls, but now it's a lot colder. Does anyone have a way of starting a fire?
I've
My
got
hands.
tinderbox. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
And
I've got.
we've got Caecilius.
Okay,
That's true.
Yeah.
And also,
Yeah.
I think that also tinderboxes. We'll start with that. If that's failing,
Yeah.
I can go a bit more.
Yep, tinderbox. Have we got... What does the tinderbox come with?
Everything. I think if I remember the description, is
Flint,
literally
fire, steel,
everything needed
tinder.
to start a fire.
Yeah, use to kindle a fire, use it to light a torch, anything else. Yeah, so you managed
We
to...
would still need fuel for the fire, like wood.
We have a cart. We could.
We're not burning the car.
Burning the car.
Truffle, get off the
No,
car.
no, it says tinderbox.
You maniac.
Oh, wait, no, yeah. So you'll need some
That's
kind of
the starter fire. Yeah.
fuel, something to burn.
I'm sure there's enough stuff around for adventurers like us to make a fire.
Yeah, make a perception check. Actually, no, make a nature check.
Oh, alright, what about a survival check?
Yeah, go on.
Oh, nice. 12.
12. You can see, yeah, you
Possible
can,
amounts of survival.
you can gather enough dry twigs together from where the snow has penetrated them, enough for a fire to last through the night.
Excellent. We're going to need this. It's going to be a chilly one, everybody.
Mm-hmm. So the fire lit, everyone camped up, you managed to stay warm enough, especially with the food that was left for you, to keep you going through the night. All you can hear through the night is the whistling of the wind and the snow as it bashes around you. Very different to the weather you've been used to these past few days. In the morning, you set off, and throughout the day, as you get closer and closer to Frest, the warnings, it seems, were not for no reason. What started as a light snow has now picked up into a snowstorm, to the point where it's nearly impossible to see the road in front. The weather just begins to clear, but it's freezing, much colder than you've been used to. You can see why people have been avoiding this area. It's not completely impassable, but it's enough of a hindrance to think, yeah, between going here and going anywhere else, I choose anywhere else, especially since you're not sure what Frest has, or if it is even worth going through all this effort to get to. The snow starts to get a bit deeper as the horse's hooves track through, and you can see behind you now the trail that you've made with your cart. It seems to be the only trail on this road to Frest. You track through, you track through, you track through, and just before the early midday, well, just after midday, you assume anyway, the grey fog that seems to be the clouds has surrounded you now. You only know it's daylight because you can still see around yourself. You make your way to the outskirts of the village of Frest. So can we all see this on Roll20?
Yep.
So as we can see...
Whatever.
You ready to go now?
Yes, yeah.
As we can see, it's a much smaller village than anywhere you've been to previously, with odd houses spattered around here and there, all made of what looks like thick, insulated timbers. A few things you notice. As you walk in, you first see... You first see this.
Ew. Oh.
Seems to be a hastily put together building, and a sign made of fabric has been nailed above the entrance to it. Over here,
Saying what?
I make a perception check.
Oh. 19.
19. With your elf eyes, you can see somebody has
My
painted,
elf eyes.
to their best of their ability, it's been hastily painted on, but still to a nice degree of calligraphy. It says, Quarters of the King's Guard. All the way over here, you can see there's a lone house that seems to just be further away than everything else. A tiny, tiny hut with sort of straw and wattle on the top. It looks like, compared to everything else, it's probably the oldest in terms of architecture. And then we can see the other main building, which is this larger one here. With that perception check only, you'll have noticed that there's a sign hanging outside of here that says the White Fox.
Ooh.
So where would you
Okay.
like to go?
Well, I'll pass on all that info to everyone and say, what do you think?
Oh, why the King's Guard here? Is
Yeah.
the King here?
Unless it's someone trying to be funny. I don't know, it just doesn't seem like the place for King's Guard, does it?
Oh, maybe the situation here is worse than we first thought. That's why everyone was saying don't go there.
Yeah, it could be.
It'd have to be pretty serious if the King's here.
The thingy Morobi guy, the Duke last week, saying about the King's Guard was trying to go out to a researcher, and everyone they sent out was being killed or hasn't returned.
Oh,
Well, then I
yeah.
think that well remembered. I think we need to speak
Yes.
to them first and say that we have shared interests and can we help?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, shall we head there?
Yeah, I think afterwards
Yeah.
maybe head to the White Wolf, because that's where I can imagine most people will be, if there is anyone here.
Yep.
But yeah, King's Guard first. Sounds good.
Okay. So you take your cart through the deep snow all the way to this hastily put together building. What would we like to do?
Is there guards outside?
There's nobody outside.
Oh,
Is there a
I
door?
want to park the cart.
There
up
is a
somewhere
door.
and head
There's
on
a
in.
door underneath the sign saying the Quarters of the King's Guard.
Knock.
Yeah, walk up and knock, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so roll
Mhm.
the knock. You can hear muffling behind the door.
Someone is in there then. We can hear you.
Hello. Yeah. Anyone in there?
You can hear someone now approaching, and they open just a crack and say, "What business do you have here?"
We seek the researcher on the lake, and we wondered if you needed some help with that.
What do you know of the researcher?
Not much really. We know he researches stuff.
And who sent you?
They also
Help out in any way we can.
Who sent you?
Kirith Mal. Kirith Mal has sent us.
He closed the door.
Edmund,
What?
we're coming across as like,
Yes.
well, yeah, but door selling religion. No wonder they shut the door in our face.
Alright, hang on. I'll try again. Bang, bang,
But
bang.
before you do,
Yeah.
they think he's dead. They're trying to fetch his body, in case that helps.
Oh.
So you knock
Right.
again, there's no answer.
Okay, Olin will shout, "He's alive!"
They open it a crack again. Say,
Cool.
and do you have any proof?
A feeling.
They close the door again.
Oh,
And the fact that everyone you sent out hasn't come back.
Oh, nice.
You hear muffled from behind the door. That's not proof.
I
well, fine, we'll
whisper.
just go out to the lake and find him then.
Yeah. Do we want to find him? I say quietly to the party.
Yeah.
Do we offer to find him?
Yeah.
Or them, actually. Do we know if it's a man, woman?
Well, I mean, Olin's thinking this is her dad, right? So
So
Yeah, I know we had no actual proof of that. We know these.
yeah. So yeah, she'll probably be feeling pretty desperate, and she'll be shouting, "He's my father!" like that.
Oh,
probably.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. She'll just go. Yeah.
Shouting that, the guard comes out completely now and shuts the door behind him and says, "Quit shouting. What the devil are you lot on about?"
We're here to find him,
Find who?
and we can help you
Help
find the
how?
researcher.
Who
Well,
s-
what
sent
hasn't
you?
worked for you? Tell us. Tell us
Who's-
how.
Who sent you?
We're free agents.
Free agents.
We're not working. We're not working for anyone. We're working for ourselves. We're just.
with a Carrot Corp.
If you're free agents, and you're
Winter.
working for yourselves, then you... What about winter? It's freezing around here. It's always winter.
No, the name Winter.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Inside.
Can I? Yeah, insight that.
Yeah, go roll.
Oh no. 4. I'm really bad at insight.
He's just-
4.
He's just staring you down. If he's saying he doesn't know what you're talking about, it looks like he's not here to play around.
You really don't know Winter.
I know it's freezing.
The name of the researcher.
The name of what researcher?
The researcher in the lake.
Why are you here?
To find them. Right, guys?
Why
Yes,
are you
to
here
find them.
to find them?
She just
Because
said.
he's
The
my
father.
father. Yeah.
Look, it's too dangerous for anyone to go out there. You're not the first family member to come down here to search for someone who's been lost on the lake. By law, we are not obligated to let you go out there. It's too dangerous for any civilian. This is a
We
matter
can
for the
handle
King's
ourselves.
Guard. This is a matter for the King's Guard and the King's Guard only. Where any
Well, you
civilians
guys
go
aren't
out-
doing a very great job, are you, at the moment?
Yeah, that's
Everyone
Fair.
you send out doesn't come back.
Exactly. Which is why we're not letting civilians out either. If King's Guard don't return, then what chance do any of you have?
Well, then it'll be not soldiers that die. Who's your commanding officer? Bring him here right now.
He looks
Tell
at
him
you and says-
Edmund of the Bloody Sands wants to speak to him.
kind of twitches and says, Edmund Geraldson, I believe, then.
Yes.
Fortunately, Mr. Geraldson, that's not quite how things work around here. The King's Guards have no commanding officer. We work on our orders from the court, and we follow them. If anybody disobeys, then they're not King's Guard material.
Oh, all right. Well, I tell you what's going to happen is we're going to go out on the lake and find the researcher, and don't try and stop us. How does that sound?
Mr. Geraldson, I won't try and stop you. But I'll tell you
Alright,
this
well-
much. You will not get an hour into that lake without turning back yourself.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. How's this? I bet you 10 gold pieces that we come back.
nice.
Mr. Geraldson, with all due respect, some of my closest allies have gone out there and not returned. And I've heard your stories. I know of your accomplishments, but they are more hardy veterans than you are, sir.
Pwah, 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 pwah.
They
Are
are
those
king-
Edward's exact words?
They were Kingsguard, and as you should know, Mr. Jellison, only the most elite become the Kingsguard.
Well, yeah, but you know, we all know in the services the cats are the best. Isn't that right, Casilius?
I give you a really serious. Are you serious right now? Face.
Yeah, he knows. He was a cat a few hours ago.
Come with me, Mr. Jellison. And he opens
Oh,
the door
right.
to the barracks and leads you in.
I also
Follow me, everybody.
Yeah.
He stops you and says, "Just Mr. Jellison, please."
Okay.
Well, I'm looking at Edmund. You happy with this, Edmund?
Edmund kind of shrugs and goes, I suppose so.
Can I whisper in Coselius's ear, I guess, because he's right up front, but not Edmund. Shall I say, shall I try and charm him too?
I've got an idea.
Okay. I'll leave this one to you.
That's okay. Ash is gonna hop onto, turn into a spider. He can.
Oh, no,
Oh.
not a spider, not a spider.
Edmund's weakness.
But he's gonna turn. There's a lot's gonna happen here. He's turning into a spider, hopping on Edmund's back, and he's gonna turn invisible.
Ooh, bloody
Wow.
Can you do that too? Wow.
Yes, he can.
Let me double
Could
check.
Wow.
become invisible. Could he
Level
not have
3.
been a raven.
Oh yeah, it can. Okay. Yeah.
And then I'm gonna walk so I can hear everything.
Okay, then in that case, Pete and Stu go into the Gragnar and Edmund chat.
Okay,
I don't have a Gragnar and Edmund chat.
Oh, you don't?
Do
I'll have
I have a Gragnar and Caecilius chat.
Oh yeah, that'll do.
let me check. Have you got Gragnar and Caecilius? Stu?
Oh no, I haven't got Gragnar.
Okay,
No, I've
I'll
only
make
got
a new one.
Gragnar and Edmund.
Caecilius and Edmund. Don't worry. I'll make it private for Caecilius and Stu. Okay, so can you go to
As
that one?
Edmund.
Yep.
Yeah, cool. As Edmund is taken through the door, he just shouts, "Remember me!"
Okay, guys, talk amongst yourself. Edmund, as you go in, the door
Yes.
closes behind you, and you see. You've heard of the Kingsguard, and they are literally they are the top military elite. They have the finest
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
barracks and clothes.
Yep,
and
they get
weapons
all
and
the
armor.
money spent on them.
And in here, it is a rudimentary fire around a few bunk beds, which seem to be hand built, with two quite grave-looking guards staring into the fire who look up. They don't say anything. They look at the guard, kind of gives them a look, and says,
So in total, inside this entire building, there is 3 of them.
"There's 3 guards."
I was like, by God, lads, is this all of you that's left?
There's 2 more of us, but currently having a nip in the White Fox.
Right.
We're
How many?
It's always been just us 5, Mr. Jones. We're the backup crew, if you will.
So how many got sent out already?
About 8 in total.
Oh, lads, I'm sorry. That's a brutal toll. Did you hear anything about any of them and what happened?
Oh, sorry,
they've
no,
just gone and just
it
not
was
come back.
12. Sorry, I misread my notes. 12 in total.
12.
12.
My God, that's a tragedy.
Mm.
And have any of them came back at all, or they just out and never come back?
We know they went in regiments of 4.
So three patrols have
I'm
gone out.
I'm saying too much, Mr. Geraldson, but yes, we've had 12 of our soldiers go out and none have returned.
Well, lads, you've already lost enough. We're going to head out there. We've got reasons we need to go. We're doing this under our own volition. You have no responsibility for it. All I'm asking is don't get in our way. That's all I'm saying.
It's not that simple, Mr. Geraldson. To be honest, you're not the first civilians who've come out here trying to find lost family members. But those who have come out have learned very quickly that it's not that we don't want you to go out there. It's a case of it's nigh impossible to get through that storm.
Is it? What happens? What, freezing and whatnot?
Temperatures like you've never known, Mr. Geraldson. Snow like you've never seen.
Okay.
We tried a few missions ourselves, and after a few hours quickly became disoriented and had to return.
Right. Well, thanks for the heads up, fellas.
Mr. Geraldson, I don't believe you know just how grave the situation is. And he begins to unravel his sleeve, and the two guards go, "Hey, what are you?" And he goes, "It's fine. This will make him understand." And he shows you his arm, and there on his arm is a very ornate and very finely done ink tattoo of an owl.
Yeah. Right. So he's like super duper special forces, isn't he? If I remember correctly.
Yes, Mr. He says.
Yeah.
I imagine you've heard of this before, Mr. Geraldson.
Aye, lad. I know you're not mucking about when I see that.
Yes.
Thank you very much for the warning.
You to have the decency not to reveal this, though I doubt your friends would believe you anyway. But yes, we are real.
I wouldn't put your life on the line.
And if owls can't make it out there, Mr. Geraldson, then even a veteran cat like yourself has a very little chance.
Aye, you've got a very good point. Thank you very much. Well, stay safe, gentlemen. Thank you for your time.
You too, Mr. Geraldson. I pray you make the right decision. I recommend stay for a few days, speak to the locals. If we haven't convinced you, surely they will.
Right. Well, and Edmund gives him a proper salute and turns to leave.
Thank you, Mr. Geraldson. And he pats you on the back. But uh-oh! What's on your back, Edmund?
But it's invisible, so surely it's fine.
I'm going to roll an attack with a disadvantage. What's the AC of the spider?
Well, it sticks with the same stats as
Ash.
Which is 13.
13 was the lowest score. Which would be,
no,
I'm going to roll the lowest I can do. That's 1 damage. And being attacked. Oh! Joseph, there's a spider on your back!
Oh, don't worry. He's a friend.
What? Joseph, you're mad!
Edmund.
Get out of here! And he opens the door and kicks you out. Go back to the general voice chat.
Okie dokie.
Get out of here, Geraldson! Get out of here! You're covered in insects, man!
Oh!
We have returned. Pete got lightly squished, but it's okay.
Oh.
Oh no! Oh! Uh-oh.
Right, let's head to the inn, and as we walk to the inn, I'll tell you what I found out. So basically, these chaps are not actually mucking about. The guard was a bit of a, the guy on the door was a bit of a douche, but inside, these guys are special forces. They've lost 12 guys already, and apparently it is pretty serious. We're talking temperatures we've never experienced in our lives, snow like you wouldn't believe. You get disorientated immediately. It sounds like the worst storm you can imagine out on the lake. But on the other hand, we don't know for sure that the people have gone in that are dead. And I did tell him that we're going to do it anyway, and I don't think they'll physically try and stop us. But he begged us to stay for a few days, speak to the people in town, see if they could dissuade us from going out there. So clearly, it's not something to be underestimated what's going on.
Okay.
Yeah, from what they were saying about the conditions out there, it doesn't sound natural. From my mind, it sounds something's going on.
Aye. Sounds like some sort of magic gone wrong or something like that.
But on a almost cataclysmic scale.
Aye.
Hmm.
Caecilius, your magic. Hang on, can you not just look at it and tell if it's magic or not?
I can give it a go, but I think this is
roll
way
that
beyond
Arcana
my abilities. Let's have a look. That'll be an 8.
8.
Oh yes, very magic.
Yeah, you don't know really magic that can create weather like this.
It's not really my kind of magic, Edmund. It's could be magic,
Aye.
but I don't know what kind of
Oh.
spells would ever do anything like that. So,
Right.
sorry.
Well, that's fine. Well, what should we do? Should we find somewhere to stop for the night and speak to a few of the locals, see what's going on?
Yeah, I think the White Wolf. I think it's probably the only inn in the.
White Fox, sorry.
Oh, sorry, the White Fox.
I think we
Yeah.
should go and find
Yeah,
ourselves some
okay.
rooms, shall we?
Yeah.
Okay. So we get in the cart, and you manage to actually. It's dying down for some reason. The weather here. The storm itself seems to be concentrating more on the lake, and now it's more of that quiet peace. The snow has stopped, but the whole town is just a blanket of white. And you manage to make your way over to the White Fox, hitching the horse and cart outside. You step inside, and it's a longhouse. So it's a really long pub with long benches, but it's practically empty. On one long bench, you can see there's 2 King's Guards silently nursing beers, they look up and see you, give a bit of a look, and then go back to looking at their beers, but you can almost see that they're still peeking in the corner of their eye. Closer to the bar, to the actual where you can get your drinks, there's another long table with one young-looking woman sat there with long, dirty blonde hair, wrapped in quite thick leathers, and just staring distantly. She gives a brief look at you, but then doesn't pay any more attention. Continues her drink as well. Then right at the end, you can see, stood behind the bar, is a rather surprised-looking female halfling, short but wrapped in warm furs with permanently rosy cheeks, pigtails either side of her shoulders, and she gives you a stern but welcoming look. What would you like to do?
Oh, who wants some stew?
Yes.
Yeah. Stroll up to the bar. So 5 stews and 5 ales, please.
5 stews, eh? Oh, alright. That'll be, let's see, 5 silver pieces for the stews, and let's say
There we go.
10 copper pieces for the ales.
Oh, there you go. This one's...
Cheers, Edmund.
Thank you very much.
Nice.
Strangers. And what brings you around these parts? Hello?
An awkward silence fills the bar.
Yeah. Passing through.
I should hope so.
Yeah,
Stu just
passing
appeared.
through.
Hold on, Stu to get back.
Hmm.
Back, Stu.
So, dropping out. Oh, no, sorry.
Passing through, so you ignored all the warnings then? Where you lot off to?
North.
North? The capital? The Expanse?
Yes.
You're gonna jaunt around hills of duck for the adventurous hunting types, I imagine. You look like one.
Yes.
Looks at you all.
Yes,
You're going.
yes, very adventurous.
Which one was it then, dear?
Ilzaduk.
It was a duck. Ooh, a hunting party, eh? Very adventurous going
Yes.
this way then. You'd have been easier going through Aquaria way where the weather wasn't so bad.
Well, we were this direction. We just thought we'd see if there were any interesting things to hunt here. Are there?
Oh, not really, unless you like fish.
Is it a fish stew?
It is a fish stew.
Lovely.
Where'd you get the fish from?
Oh, ice fishing's very popular around the edge of the lake.
Okay.
So we drill the holes down and we just chop them, bring them straight out.
Wonderful.
So I imagine
Is
you
it
won't
cold
be
up
staying. Well, I think the weather's died down a bit now, but further out from the lake, yes, it's become quite deadly as of late. We've not had weather like this, not in my time ever, actually.
And how long has your time been?
I've been here nearly 50 years now.
Ah, still young then.
Oh,
I mean,
no,
you
not
look
me,
great for your
not
age.
me. Thank you.
No.
It's the weather, you see. It keeps the blood pumping to the face.
I see.
Oh yes, that's vital. I can tell you that as a physician. You got to have a lot of blood pumping to your face at all times.
She says, "Don't I
Yes.
know it?" And she slaps her rosy cheeks.
Okay, so what's the deal with the researcher then that we're hearing about that's on the lake?
A researcher, dear? What do you mean?
Oh, we heard somebody was out there on the lake, and we saw some King's Guards or something around here. And I'll whisper the King's Guards bit because obviously there are some King's Guards in the inn.
She says, I don't know what they're up to on that lake, dear. I just tried to give them as much food and drink as they want. They're very tight-lipped about it all. I didn't know there was somebody on the lake. I know there was something that would make all those lads go out there. Didn't know it was a person, though. Don't know why you'd go out there if it was a person. They're probably not alive.
Yeah, we don't know that. It's just a rumour we heard, so...
Rumours are dangerous. You ever been to Flamby?
Well...
Rumours are really dangerous.
They certainly are. You're right. Does anyone else have anything to ask?
Nothing I can think of. No.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, actually, yeah. Where can we get some warmer clothes?
Oh,
That
yeah.
little store in town.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
So we need some winter wear.
Why would you need winter clothes, dear?
Oh, it's chilly.
Bloody cold.
Yeah, it's quite nice here. We might stay for a little while.
I wouldn't recommend it. If you're passing through, you might as well pass through.
You get some business though.
Yeah, well, just tell us where the bloody general store is. What's wrong with you?
I get enough business with the King's Guards, and really, I don't want any more people getting into trouble around here.
We're not
Is
going
that
to
what
get in
people
trouble.
do?
We're just going to get, comfy and warm.
Right, well, if you're only staying for a bit and you just want something warmer, yeah, there's a clothing store just on the main street outside. You can get furs and leathers out there.
Right, what about extreme cold gear?
Again, so the furs and leathers will keep you warm enough. I mean, how do you think we survived this long? And she kind of shows off the furs she's wearing. You see it's like a combination of like stoat and fox. A nice mix of like black and silvers and oranges.
Oh, lovely. Well, yeah, well, that's very good. Thank you very much. We shall pay them a visit.
Again, don't stay too long if you can help it, dear.
Oh, don't worry. We won't overstay our welcome.
Unless this stew's really good, then we might.
Or it should be. The
Fish stew.
good thing about the fish is they're basically frozen. They're always fresh tasting.
Well then, you might see more of us. Ha ha ha!
She kind of gives you a pained smile and says, although usually I'd welcome such a comment, I really hope I don't.
Okay. Did we get a room from her? Have you got a room we can stay in, or a couple of rooms?
I suppose it is getting quite dark. Yes, I can do your room 2 silver a night.
Okay.
Well, that's not bad,
Yeah.
is it?
Is that all right?
Is it warm?
Oh yes, I can always keep them warm. There should be a hearth inside.
I'll have 2 rooms then, shall we?
Hmm.
2 rooms. Well, the ones here, they're actually. You can see how long this place is. It'll be big enough for all of you. I offered
All right, then.
the King's
lovely.
gents when they first came, but they insisted they needed their own base of operation. Goodness knows why.
They're an
Oh,
odd
there we
bunch,
go.
aren't they? Ha ha ha.
They are, but they've been through a lot. They've seen good friends disappear, for what I gather.
Ah. Interesting.
I know, bless their souls.
Yes. Yeah, we'll take the one room then.
Thank you,
Yeah.
dear. So who wants to pass over 2 silver?
I'll do it.
Okay.
Good lad.
Is there anything else we want to ask?
Oh yeah, actually, while I'm here, can I get my bottle of breakfast rum topped up?
I'm afraid we don't have much rum here, dear. Just the ale.
Nothing else? Like no whiskey, no gin?
Oh, actually, yes, we do have a good gin. A lot of our folk think it keeps them warmer on the ice.
Right then, I'll get some breakfast gin then, please.
Breakfast gin.
How much would you like, dear? The shot or
A bottle, please.
a bottle? 6 silver pieces then.
Yeah, no probs.
Oh, thank you, very generous. Don't drink it all at once. It only makes you feel.
I
warm.
make no promises. Okay.
Well, if there's nothing else, why don't you find a seat? To
Oh,
join-
actually, I had. Sorry, one more question.
Of course.
This little village doesn't happen to have a master blacksmith, does it? Or
A
a
blacksmith.
good quality blacksmith?
No, not many shops around here in this season. Used to be back in the day, you couldn't move for them. Back when the ice markets used to be on. But now the weather's just too bad for anybody to travel this far.
Oh, that's sad.
Would you say the weather's got worse out here then?
Oh, much
Recently.
worse, much worse. As like I said,
What was it like back in the day then? Like seasonal?
you could see right out into the middle of the lake back in the day. Now you can't even see more than 10 feet in front of you.
Hmm.
How recently has this got bad?
Well, it only started about, I'd say, a year ago.
Okay. And when did the King's Guard get here?
The Kingsguard, well, they've been here, I'd say nearly 8 months now.
Right.
So after this started. Okay. Interesting to know.
Mm.
Hmm. Good thinking.
But I'm afraid no blacksmith. Just the general store and the clothes shop if it's shopping you're looking for.
Right. Thank you very much.
That's alright. Do you want to take your stew and your ale and find somewhere to sit?
Yes. Thanks. Will do.
Love to, thanks.
Okay, so where would we like to sit?
Is there a fire?
Yeah, there's a large hearth right in the middle. Which
Is that near anyone of the interesting people you described?
So it would be up to you. You can sit on the table below the hearth, which is where the Kingsguard are, or to the top of the hearth where the young woman is. What do you want to do?
I don't mind.
No, I don't mind.
Go for the young woman. We've already talked to some King's Guard.
Yeah, we've spoken to some soldiers.
Yeah.
So you walk over and take a seat, and the girl kind of sits a bit straighter, gives you all a confused look, takes a sip of her drink. She doesn't protest you're sitting down, but she doesn't say anything either.
What? Describe her again, would you kindly,
So
DM?
she's wrapped in like what looks like thick leather, with long, dirty brown hair, and she just looks a bit tired and vacant.
Is she human?
She's human, yes, sorry.
Okay. Can I give her my ale? Untouched?
She says, "What's this?"
A free drink? It looks like you could use it.
Why?
You look a little bit tired, and ale will help warm you, if nothing else, in this freezing cold wasteland.
I suppose. Thank you. And she takes it and sips it to give it a taste test. Realizes it's not poisoned or soured. Gives it another big gulp. She goes, "And why the heck are you guys here then?"
Well, we're interested in what's happening here.
Yeah, we're here to fix your weather problem.
She scoffs and says, "It's not my weather problem."
Alright,
Well-
we're here to fix the village's weather problem.
And how are you going to do that? How do you fix weather?
Oh, well, we haven't figured that bit out yet, but that's what we're here to do, basically.
Why?
Well, just to make things generally better and be nice.
Mm-hmm.
She looks at you all with suspicion and says, "Why would a bunch of randomers come to a place that's been plagued by snowstorms that they don't even know about and try to fix it, that they don't know how to do, just to feel better?"
What if-
It's what we do.
And what if we told you we had a vested interest?
Did you lose someone too?
Yeah, exactly.
Who?
My father.
Your father? Is it
Yes.
How old is he?
I'm a lot younger than I look.
How old is he then?
Good question. You know, time just flies, doesn't it?
I didn't know they made Kingsguards that old.
Well, you know, if they're real good.
They usually retire. With a
Yeah,
very
but, you
generous
know-
pension.
He loved his work.
Yeah. So did Martin.
Who's Martin?
Martin's my brother. He was in the second unit they sent out.
Oh gosh. And how many units have they sent out now?
The
3.
last one will be the third.
Right. Martin. What's your name?
My name's Giselle. Giselle Mert.
Giselle Mert.
Giselle, how do you find yourself up here then? Were you trying to track down your brother? I can't imagine they posted you out with him.
No,
If you
you're
don't
right.
mind me
I'm
asking.
here to track him down. Although some people aren't being too forthcoming about it. She says it loud enough for those two Kingsguards to hear. But they don't really react. Kind of get the impression that she kind of eggs on him a lot. Yeah. I've not heard from him in half a year. He came up 2 months after the first unit went out. Nobody said anything.
At times.
We just got a letter saying he was... She can't quite bring herself to say it, but he's not. Because they don't know what's happened to him either, do you? And again, the King's Guards don't react.
Yeah, I feel your pain.
Do you? I don't even believe your dad's out
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. I feel like I'd know if he was not there.
You're a half-elf, right?
Yep.
What race is your dad then?
Yeah, he's a... She kind of mutters incoherently.
Is it what?
You just kind of tailed off there.
She's gonna try and mutter incoherently again.
She looks at you and says, I don't believe your dad is out there. Which means you guys are lying about why you're here. Which means I can't trust you. So why are you here? Why are you talking to me?
If we've told you why we're here and you don't trust us and you're asking us again...
We're heading out onto the lake, try and see what is causing all these problems with the weather and why no one's come back.
She
And
laughs.
if we find your brother alive, we'll bring him back to you. If we find out he's died, we'll let you know. At least then you'll have some peace.
She laughs into a beer, like you see the froth, and says, What, you think I haven't tried that already?
Alright, well, we won't then. Jesus.
What stopped you?
Sorry. Carrot mouth.
When you say that, when you say what stopped you, now the King's Guards do react, and they seem to be like staring daggers but out the corner of their eyes. And Giselle notices this. She kind of pulls her face and says, I went out there, just like these lot did, and a few things happened. First, this happened, and she shows her left hand, and she's missing the finger near her pinky. And you can see just on the stump, the flesh is black and frostbitten. I got lost for a few days. Got colder than I ever thought it could do. And obviously I'm not really dressed for this weather. She addresses the leathers she's wearing. I just thought I'd put on the thickest clothes I could and that would keep me warm enough, and it didn't. And just when I thought I was heading in the right direction, and one of the guards clears his throat, but she ignores it and says, started hearing things and seeing things. Don't know what it was, but if the cold wasn't the one to kill me, whatever those things were, probably would. I turned back. I decided that if I couldn't make it through it, then, well, maybe my brother was tough enough to get through, but maybe he's not been tough enough to get back.
He's out there. We may find him.
Yeah, we're heading out there anyway. We'll keep our eye out for him. What was his name?
Martin.
It's weird. Her words
What's weird?
kind of make sense now.
What words?
Well, there's a seer, or they call her a seer. She lives on the edge of the village. And after I came back, I needed some kind of hope. Isabella at the bar said that Dagny can usually offer a few words of encouragement, or at least a prediction of what might be. I didn't really understand what she was saying at the time. She said of strangers being handy and trusting where trust shouldn't be. At first I thought she was talking about the soldiers, but now you guys come along and you have these more than noble intentions. I don't know, yeah. No, that kind of makes sense what she says.
Perfect. Then shall we work together?
I don't think I can help out much. I mean, I'm certainly not going back out there if that's what you mean. But I can tell you as much as I know about what happened out there.
That'd be great.
Please do.
Please do.
She says, okay. Here's everything I know. And that's where we will pick up next week.
Oh.
Nice.
Oh,
So, make your notes, ladies and gentlemen. Really good job there. Really, really good. I think my favourite part was probably the combat that didn't become combat.
Eel, no eel, eel.
I still think he's going to show up in the middle of the lake.
Well, remember, it only lasted for an hour.
Tragically
Yeah.
take a bullet for us.
Give
Ely,
bacon.
no!
Yeah. Was I good friend?
You're the best friend ever, Ely.
Very good job. Really good comeback right at the start as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Yeah, it was
next week
nice to try out our new toys.
Yes,
Yeah.
we will find out what Giselle has to say about her journey into the ice and what exactly happened. So make sure you've made plenty of notes. There's been a few hints of what might come and what to discover. Otherwise, everybody enjoy your Easters
Yeah, likewise.
and
Yeah,
your days off.
you too.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone.
Farewell,
Thanks,
folks.
Simon.
See you next
Okay.
week.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye, guys.